talking and harassment, he appeared in court Wednesday where he did not enter a plea. After court, he went back to Scott's townhouse, prompting neighbors to call 911. Crow was arrested again for criminal contempt. A singer from the Woodstock era has passed away. She went by the name Melanie and became famous after appearing at the iconic music festival in 1969, writing the song Lay Down Candles in the Rain about the experience. She also had a #1 hit in 1971 with Brand New Key and penned 1970's Look What They've Done to My Song. Melanie Safka died Tuesday at the age of 76. That's entertainment. Steve Greenfield, NBC News Radio.
What's up, inmates?
1 FM, The Key, Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
With SRN News, I'm Tasha Stevens. Qatar says gas shipments are being affected by Houthi assaults as U.S. flag vessels are attacked off Yemen. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma has more.
One of the world's top exporters of liquefied natural gas is warning that its deliveries have been affected by ongoing attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels on shipping over Israel's war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The statement by Qatar Energy comes as an explosion struck near 2 US flag vessels on Wednesday, travelling through a crucial strait near Yemen. The British military says no damage or injuries have been reported and no group has claimed responsibility for the attack, but suspicion has fallen on the Houthis. I'm Charles.
Also at SRNnews.com, eBay joins other tech companies in announcing more job cuts. Lisa Dwyer has more.
Online retailer eBay Inc. will cut about 1,000 jobs, or an estimated 9% of its full-time workforce. The company says the number of employees and costs have exceeded how much the business is growing in a slowing economy. It's the latest tech company to roll out a series of layoffs after quickly ramping up hiring during COVID-19. Other tech companies with job cuts include Spotify, Microsoft, Meta, and IBM. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Los Angeles Times is announcing mass layoffs as it cuts about a quarter of its staff. California's largest daily paper.
Yeah, newspaper.
People from its newsroom. The restaurant industry is bouncing back.
People not living in the
after the COVID
back in the old days.
According to a recent
Keep
report,
trying to tell people things. They don't listen. I've been telling you guys this for years.
Last year, which is an increase from 2022 and 2019. This is SRN News. More
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Hi, Lisa Wolf to tell you that the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show
Oh,
and the
no,
30-minute
that's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to stay plugged in.
Every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends for the journey? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions.
Woo! Got lightning going on in the Atlanta, metro Atlanta area.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931 top local sale agents.
LaGrange, Georgia, Sweetland on Ice, November 17th through February 11th. Adults, kids, and group rates available. It's free just to hang out here in the fire pit. Drinks, monthly movies.
You guys ready? You better be ready.
Weather updates and hour changes on the Facebook at Sweetland on Ice or Instagram at Sweetland on Ice Official. To book a party or learn more about seasonal passes, contact Lizzie at sweetlandamp.com. Lizzie at sweetlandamp.com.
Hank Arnold here from Cowee to Force. Cowee to Force is Newman's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetoforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newnan. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newnan.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
Hey sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of the Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show. Every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons, the Braves, and more. And who knows, you might even hear you. That's the Rod Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey sports fans, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele. This is Zach Finale of the Columbus River Dragons. Your home for River Dragons hockey in Newnan 99.
You got that right. What's up? What's going on? It is a True Crime Thursday. The Real Radio in the background. You see it on the YouTube page. We're live and in living color for you. Got all the very best of what's going on. We appreciate you being a part of this electrifying radio show. You're in lockdown and it's True Crime Thursday. So let's get started. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host with most, the one, the only Ryan Neal, and of course, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout Out Loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock Radio, Arizona, New Mexico, and the Navajo Nation, Internet Radio, and Real Radio out there. And across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, plus Jordan Communication and Family Radio Stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at the heartbeat of Atlanta, 99.1 FM, WQEE, Real Radio for real people. And we are the home of inspirational talk and Southern sports. We got it all going on for you. Real radio for real people. We're not in our mom's basement. We're not in our basement. We're not playing in, with you guys. We're telling it like it is. And to my haters, I got one thing to say to you. Welcome into lockdown at about 10 minutes past the hour. Rainy skies out there, 63 degrees and 46. 63 degrees, rainy skies out there, feeling like a good one. Rain continues to run through the metro Atlanta area and across Tennessee, South Carolina, North Florida, and Alabama for the remainder of the week into the weekend. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with your active weather forecast, brought to you by Active Pest Control. Your time and temperature right now brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. They take care of my home. They should take care of your home. 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan O'Neal. You're in lockdown with yours truly. And if you're not on with us, where are you? You've got nothing better to do. What are you doing? Trying to listen to somebody tell you lies? Well, we don't do that. Straight edge, independent skeptic here. I am straight edge. No drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. Never mess this mind up so I'm not foggy. So don't worry, I'm not going to put my Roddy Piper glasses on and see a lizard man in the corner. No, it's still a broom. There was a broom in the corner. It's still a broom. Also, independent means I'm down the middle. I tell it like it is. I'm not going to pick a side. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to call people names because that's very immature and childish, especially if you claim to be a good person. And that's what all them Democrats and these Republicans and these representatives and these reptiles. And guys, come on, really? You sound like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. All right, and also coming up, I am skeptic. The only thing that's ever been real to me is the Bible, the Bible. That's the only thing that's ever been real to me. Everything else is like, I gotta take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, anyway, we appreciate you joining us this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you may be tuning in to us from. We've got people worldwide all over the Shoutcast. We've got people joining us on our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is across the also other pages of our RyanORadio Penitentiary. Also across my personal page. I'm able to tag my personal page this morning and get you guys on and more. I don't understand why there's 23 hours, 24 hours of things they're saying, oh, you're sharing too much. So I guess my friends don't want me to share. I guess I don't want to see somebody knows what they're doing. I want to see somebody who don't know what they're doing. I want to go to YouTube and see somebody who don't know what they're doing. Well, come on over here. I know what I'm doing on YouTube, partially. We are real radio, too. You see in the background, if you're on YouTube, WQEE 99.1 FM. That's real radio. We don't sit in our mom's basement making up imaginary lies and calling them conspiracy theories and saying, the frogs are gay and take the pill and the end of the world's coming and it's because you didn't vote who I wanted to vote for and we don't go and lie and everything. We don't make up imaginary conspiracy theories. Thank you I had to make him popular. He's lost his network here. So he's having to go on everybody's network to try to be popular. Please welcome our guest before we get into the news, Mr. InfoWars himself, Alexander Jones. What's up, Alexander? Hey guys, what's going on? I got these blue pills for sale because what it is my wife says she's tired of me being home. She's ready for the pool boy to come over. So I take these pills and fall asleep early. She says that I'm not selling enough of them, so let's go ahead and get enough of them. And I'll tell you more about the gay frogs in the world. And you can wear a shirt that says I'm always right when I'm really never right. That's right. Alexander Jones here. Yeah, Alexander Jones here. My information wars is wrong. Actually, I had a guy working for me. He's in prison now. I didn't take up for him. I made him go out there to a rally that turned into a riot, and he went to jail. And I don't even care about him. Yeah, when he comes back, he's going to have to clean up the bathrooms because nobody's cleaned the bathrooms up since he's been to jail. Because I'm not going to do it. No. Just buy these pills at informationwars.com. All right, thank you, Alexander Jones, for being part of the show. You love it when he tells those conspiracy lies, don't you guys? I'm not going to agree with this guy just because he's intelligent. I want to agree with somebody that tells me that I'm right. Right. I'm sure you do. The same kind of people won't tell you right for chasing the street preacher down the street and attacking him when all he's doing is teaching about Jesus. He's not talking about politics. He's not talking about what I want to hear. He's talking about that there Jesus. Yeah, I know, man. I'll go to church on Sunday for that. Need to have him every day. Speaking of that, we got it every day at 15 minutes past the hour, January 25th, 2024, from our reading this morning, Jesus Listens, our daily devotion. Author of Jesus Calling, Sarah Young, bringing you this daily devotion prayer book. I love reading out of it. It's sponsored by Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue in the metro Atlanta area, where we're transforming lives for Jesus' sake. Every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. inside services, 9 a.m. and 10:30 services outside, and 6:30 services with Pastor Cedric for the hip, cool kids in the evening. Pastor Cedric, Pastor Darren, Pastor Randy, and Head Pastor Jimmy Ellison invite you out to transforming lives for Jesus' sake at Noonan City Church. Let's take a look at it before we head into the news. From 2 Corinthians this morning, 5:7, Psalms 96:6, John 8:12, and Psalms 36:9. Glorious Jesus, she says, I want to follow you wherever you lead. Help me to chase after you wholeheartedly with anticipation, quickening my pace. I'm gladly to do this. Though I do not know what lies ahead, you know, and that's enough. I believe that some of your riches and the blessings that you got around me are bent out of sight. Nevertheless, they're very real. To receive these precious gifts, I need to walk by faith and not by sight. Walk by faith, not by sight. Walk by faith, not by sight. One more time. I need to walk by faith, not by sight. Sometimes you lead me up the high mountains with only your hand to support me. The higher I climb, the more spectacular the view becomes. Eventually, you lead me down a mountain back into the community with others. May the light of your presence come shining upon me and make a blessings upon others. In your magnificent name, amen, Jesus. Whoa, that fell. I didn't put the book in there properly and it fell. Yeah. All right, what's up, everybody? That's a good one. That is waking us up the way we should. Bless you and bless your family on the way to work, school, play, wherever you may be roaming off to today. We're going to bring the world back together the proper way through the man himself known as Jesus. That's right. Not no human beings, not a bunch of old men is going to die, not any of that stuff, not separating families and everything. So we're going to bring it together with Jesus. Man, we got some things to talk about coming up this morning. True Crime Thursday, 18-year-old homecoming queen or queen or something that was chosen is being convicted of some kind of association with the murder of an 18-month-old child. Don't know what the connection in that is. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a couple of other things in the true crime news this morning. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that 18-year-old beauty queen. We're going to talk about police arrested a youth baseball coach for his relationship with a young student. We're going to talk about a teacher's relationship with a young student. I don't know what's going on with some of these people. Are they just mentally handicapped? I guess they all think they can be on that list. If I get on the Jeffrey Epstein list, guys, you know what's going to happen? They're not going to charge me. I'm just on the list. I wonder if all of these pedophilers that Chris Hansen chased down want to be on that list so they can get out of it. I wonder. Anyway, we'll talk about that coming up in their true crime. And we'll have our Dome Crooked today, too. Plus, we'll have some other things we're going to dive into in just a few. Let's go ahead and kick it off with our headline news at about 20 minutes past the hour. We're holding at 63 degrees under cloudy, rainy skies in the metro Atlanta area, brought to you by Active Pest Control. 5 elite universities pay out $104.5 million to settle price-fixing suit. The U.S. ship was under attack by Iran terrorists near Yemen. Also, Senator says that the President Biden needs to approve for the strikes that are going on with the Iran terrorists, against the Iran terrorists. 74 killed in a Russian aircraft carrying Ukraine's POW crashed near their border. We'll talk about some other stuff going on as well in Israel at war. Those are some of the headlines, and plus many more headlines flooding across the country in the southern parts of stuff. We went from freezing cold weather that was freezing things up to floods. I'm not going to say anything except for, as a believer, the BIBLEs, it says it in Revelations. I'm just not going to get into that. I'm about tired of trying to tell people this and go, this is my calling to tell you this. I'm on real radio and telling you this on a radio station is not all particularly inspirational, but mostly inspirational. And this is a mostly inspirational Christian-based radio show, even though we do a lot of different things and a lot of different guests. I'm not going to keep telling you. Look at it in there. People with the marks of their hands and worshiping politicians on both sides of the aisle and all of this kind of stuff. And people just, I'm not going to listen to you. No. You're not telling me what I want to hear. I'm a good guy. You're not a good guy if you think that a list of people of pedophiles, rich pedophiles, no, they all have been caught. All of them, only one, Prince Andrew's really been accused of wrongdoing. The rest of them, I don't know. I don't care. They're famous. They should be letting go. Yep. Yeah. I'm going to support somebody who's done some things wrong. You're supposed to forgive. Forgive? You don't forgive when you're calling people names. What I'm trying to tell you is read your Bible, Revelation. Well, the preacher's been preaching. It's been going on for years. Yeah, we've probably been in it for years. We don't know how long 7 years really meant in the Bible. We don't know what that meant. Okay, we could have been going on since the day I've been born. I could have been under this sign of the final days. You just don't know. I mean, we sit there and go, Bible scholars. Yeah, they study. They're educated. They do know more about the Bible, but we really don't know what it's saying. We just know that Jesus says, I'll be back. And God says to follow him and do what he says. Okay. But, Israel at war, rumors of war with the fake civil war. That's a rumor of war. Real wars with Israel, which has been going on for years. This war in Israel and Palestine has been going on for years, and it's been in the Bible. So, maybe we've been under Revelations for years. I don't want to get too deep into it because it might make your morning go a little weird as you head off to work. But read your Bible. All right, but let's go ahead and take a look at some other things. And floodings, like I said, going on across the country. Be on the lookout for some of these roadways. Are going to be flooding in Atlanta and Alabama and up there in Tennessee. They had just had snow. Now they got floods going on. So let me know what's going on, my Tennessee listeners, as well. Other news this morning. 6 bodies were found on a dirt road in California off of highway just as early yesterday morning. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Deputy. I've been through this area. I've drove through this area on that side of the country, and it's nothing but deserts heading from Nevada to California. It's under investigation underway with deputies discovering bodies on Tuesday night off of Highway 395, one of the more busier highways as well. The Victor Valley Media Group reported that they were shot to death. However, authorities did not release any details on the cause of deaths. They added that the Sheriff's Department has not yet confirmed the age or the sex of the victims and did not provide any further details of their identities right now. The 6 bodies were discovered on a dirt road after responding to a wellness check in the area. 2 vehicles, a silver minivan and a dark blue SUV, were found at the scene. The sheriff's deputy would not confirm whether the people were shot or provided no additional information about the cause of death. Authorities say the scene is the only crime scene that they are in. Said the location is the only crime scene they're investigating. So we don't know if they were murdered there, if they killed themselves there, if they were part of some cult, it's part of this world. Because we have a lot of cults out there now. I watched I had somebody get mad at me because I was bringing up these cults because they were like, what's important about that? I only want to talk calling people names. And they get mad when you tell them off, and then they start crying. Some people are like that. Some people got big mouths, hurt people, and they don't want to hear about this. But we don't know. This is 100 different million things that could have happened. We know there's only one thing that really happened, but it could have been part of a cult. It could have been part of a wannabe cult. It could have been part of somebody somebody murdering these people. Could have been a serial killer. it could have been people that just didn't like people that were different from them that shot them and go, why, just like in that Civil War movie that's coming out this month. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see it. What kind of American are you? You just don't know. We've got people out there. I mean, hell, we told you a couple of years ago about a man that took his kids to Mexico and killed them because he said they had lizard blood. He believed in some QAnon conspiracy nut theory about lizard people and reptile people. And, you can believe in anything you want to believe, I mean, conspiracy theories used to be fun and not dangerous, okay? Nobody ever got rid of Uncle Leroy from the dinner table because he said that he believed Bigfoot was out in his backyard. They just laughed and let him come on to dinner. In 2024, he starts saying there's lizard people in the government, then people don't want them at their house. It went from, I don't believe in that, to, oh my God, these people are dangerous. And we don't know what happened to these 6 people. We don't know if it was part of a cult, which is becoming more and more likely because people are tired of living. They want to live off the grid. They're tired of paying taxes. The inflation's so big, so they want to go do their own thing. They want to follow a leader that's going to tell them that they're the greatest thing in the world and everybody else isn't. And we got that in many cult-like mindsets everywhere across this country. And it could be that. Or it could have been some serial killer that caught these people and killed them off because we've had mass serial killers in California. So you just don't know. It could have been that or that. It could have been somebody who's like, you're different to me and I don't like you and you don't vote the way I vote, so I'm going to kill you. Or I think you're all lizard people. We don't know. We're never going to know the mindset behind the person that did this to these people. We really are never going to know that. It's kind of dangerous in a sense that we cannot sit here and people do not want to hear real news and real programming from real radio and stuff like that and real local news sources in their markets because they just want it to be about, well, you're not telling me what I want to hear. And we've got so dangerous in this day and time, honestly. Used to, you could say 6 people being killed. People would have thought back in the 70s, serial killer. 6 being people are cult, or they would have come out and say, okay, they were part of some cult. It was 2 different vehicles. Now today, you can't pinpoint a couple of things that used to make sense and what people did or how dangerous people were to today. Could have just been somebody that disagreed with them 100%. Well, you don't believe the way I believe, so I'm going to kill you. You don't believe the way I believe, so I'm going to kill you. I mean, I'm not laughing at the deaths. I'm laughing at the ignorance of a portion of our society that think that they are completely right and everybody else is wrong. And they will tell you, hey, I'm so mad about what's going on. I have a right to feel this way. There's people out there that literally says they have a right to feel the way they want to feel and be mad and want to kill people. You can't do that. Then I should have a right to kill people, right? People done me wrong. No. You don't have a right to kill people because you're not doing it in the political forum. If they don't believe your politics, if you don't believe in politics, you're the evil one. I don't believe in either side's politics, so sorry. I use my brain for more than just a hat. I use my head for more than just a hat rack. I actually go and research news stories that are not just propaganda for one side or the other. Sorry about that. It's just how I do. It's what majority of our country wants. So we'll find out as they get deeper into this investigation, the 6 people that bodies were found in kind of a rural area of California, San Bernardino, California. Sheriff's deputies are looking into this as we speak. All right, we're going to take a look at your traffic right now. It's 30 minutes past the hour. Under rainy skies out there, 63 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Right now, road report. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's going on. Cobb County, Johnson Ferry Road near Sewell Mill Road. There's some delays there till about 8:50 to about 8:35 this morning. There's a crash blocking the lane. Tucker, I-285 in Tucker, northbound highway, Lawrenceville Highway, exit 38. A big rig is stalled there. That's cleared up as we speak. I-85 near Highway 316 in Gwinnett County. Use Satellite Boulevard because there's a crash in the right and left lane. That's going to be up to about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time this morning. Douglas County, there's an injury crash at I-20 before Thornton Road, exit 44. That's cleared up about 8:04 a.m. this morning as well. Also in Ackworth, I-75 southbound near exit 277, a spin out. And all this rain clearing up hopefully by 8 a.m. No traffic issues so far on Bullsboro, Lower Fayetteville Road, and Popular Road. Coming down in front of the station, Jackson Street, there's rain still going on, but a lot of traffic. People are driving correctly. Keep driving correctly. Turn those lights on. Take that umbrella with you. We had a little bit of thunder and lightning a little earlier. Make sure you're out there as you head to school, work, or play. Heading towards LaGrange Street, looking good. Buses are out this morning. Be on the lookout for the little rascals there. Heading towards Greenville Street, taking down Interstate 85 southbound. No traffic issues so far in Granville. Good morning, David Clark and crew over there. Also, and the City Council, thank you for the Granville Police Department. No reports from Hogansville Police Department this morning so far. In LaGrange, New Franklin Road picking up. There is a little bit of standing water on New Franklin Road. If you go a little, you take the whole New Franklin Road, standing water, there's a little bit of standing water, so be on the lookout there. Commerce Avenue's picking up a little bit, and downtown LaGrange heading to Old West Point Road. Best exit, get off at Interstate 85, get off at Keel Boulevard, head on down to the Lynette Valley exit, ladies and gentlemen, because you get off at the West Point exit, take a right. Guess what? There's still construction going on there, and could be a little standing water there. Take it back to the left, take it to the Loves, and get your gas up and gas yourself up with some food from our friends at Hardee's. Hardee's in West Point, the best breakfast biscuits around. If you like gravy biscuits, they got it. If you like, hold on. If you like chicken biscuits, they got the two biscuits for a $5 deal, but they have a different deal every single day. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. That's your road report. If you see something I don't see, shoot me an email, 99classicrock@gmail.com. That's 99classicrock@gmail.com. Put in the heading WQEE News Hound or call in at 770-347-9947. You see something I don't see on the road, traffic, weather, wherever it's going on, let me know. I want to let everybody know in East Alabama, West Georgia, Tennessee, and North Florida. We do travel around the world and around the country with the YouTube page and our WQEE key page with 50,000 plus worldwide. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got things going on locally, let us know. Shoot us an email at 99classic right like this. Coming up in just a few moments, you're going to hear about the Run for Angels, February 3rd, 5K, 10K, and fun run beginning at 8 a.m. with the fun run, 8:30 for the 5K and 10K, and chicken plates at Noonan First United Methodist Church, 33 Greenville Street in Noonan. Sponsored by our friends at the Kiwanis Club of Noonan and many other great sponsors as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got some things going on, let me know. Back in a moment. We're going to put you in a penalty box for safekeeping. Oh, Dr. Edward, where are you at, brother? Did I hear? I hope I didn't hear you text me yesterday. Because I got mad at Facebook.
Showers and thundershowers likely today, potential heavy rains by the afternoon. High near 71 with a 70% chance of showers. South winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a 60% chance of showers continues with more thunder showers overnight. Low near 61. Heading into your Friday, thunder showers following a period of early rain. High near 68. Winds light and variable. Chance of rainfall is 70%. Heading into your Friday night, another 60% chance of showers continuing into the overnight hours with a low near 60, light and variable winds. Saturday, more rain continues as 100% chance of showers all day long. High near 67. South winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon. Clearing up and going to west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and 70% chance of showers takes you into Sunday night. That's your active weather forecast, sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like bed bug, turtle roach, and flea control, even if you can't see them. Insects are all around you 24/7. Active Pest Control must be the first line of defense. Active Pest Control. Prepare. Buy. Best termite coverage around. Active Pest Control. 34 Jefferson Street, Newton. 770-954-9941.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Liz. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively. With technical drills to build their survival skills, you can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sale agent.
The Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. 5K, 10K.
There's Dr. Edward on with us.
5K, 10K,
Gotta be.
8:30 a.m. Chicken Coop Place, 9:30 a.m. to
Father
noon.
of physics.
Drive in. Noon at First United Methodist Church, 33 Regal Street. Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. Be there.
Shenmue Performing Arts invites you to travel to the magic world of ancient China. Experience a lost culture brought to life with incredible classical Chinese dance, magical scenery, and soul-stirring music. Shenmue. Coming to River Center for the Performing Arts, January 23rd only. Tickets at shenmue.com/Columbus-PA. That's SHENYUN.com/Columbus-PA.
Sunday, January 28th, Hollywood. Haley J is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Plus, the return of James Ellsworth. Get your tickets right now at MemphisWrestling.tv.
You can also check out Teddy Long. Peanut Head to be there. Memphis Wrestling on TV 18, Aruku, and in Auburn, Alabama. Memphis Wrestling, get in the ring. Oh! You're saved by the bell for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Come on out of that building. Come on. All right, welcome back in. We appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If I don't see you again, a very, very good night. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on our Shoutcast, Shout It Out Loud. Across our RyanORadio media page that actually works. Across the Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, Navajo Nation, real radio and internet out there. And we're across British Columbia Isles, including right here at the Georgia Communication and Family Radio Stations, East Alabama, West Georgia. Real radio, 99.1 FM, WQEE, The Key. We are real radio. We are not in our mom's basement. Oh my goodness. We're going to talk about this morning. Another group of people being fired. Sports Illustrated, we told you yesterday or the day before, they're releasing a lot of their writers. Now the Los Angeles Times is doing the same thing. We'll get deeper into the depth of what's going on there. And if you continue in your imaginary conspiracy theories that your buddies can continue to have things, this is reality. This is why we're all over the internet and everywhere. Andrew Bolanis. Woohoo! My lovely bride. But first, let's jump into it. It's time for some headline news. Uh-oh, wait. I shouldn't have did that theme song. I hit the wrong one. Anyway, let's do it. Here's what's going on with Israel at war. White House officials have expressed concern about the potential significant citizen death toll after the UN reported that Israel forces reportedly was struck by Israel forces in southern Gaza on Wednesday. We are gravely concerned about reports of today of the strikes that hit in the UN Relief and Works Agency facility in a neighborhood in southern Gaza where more than 30,000 displaced Palestinians had reportedly been, sheltering, according to the National Security Council spokesperson, Andrea Watson, who prepared a statement as of yesterday. While we didn't yet have all the details on what happened and will continue to seek further information regarding today's incidents, the loss of every innocent life is a tragedy. The conflict has already resulted in the devastating deaths of injuries and tens of thousands of Palestinian citizens, and we mourn every single citizen's life that has been lost. It's heartbreaking to see children killed, injured, and orphaned. Wow. The statement from the White House comes after the UN official said earlier in the day that the Israel Defense Forces inflicted a mass casualties in southern Gaza. The death occurred at the UN's Relief and Work Agency shelter, ladies and gentlemen, while Israel will continue conducting military operations against Hamas terrorists, according to Thomas White, the director of the UNRWA affairs in Gaza. Fighting is escalating, he says. He also says the UNRWA training center sheltering 10Ks of displaced people have been hit. Building ablaze, mass casualties. Safe access to and from the center has been detained for the last 2 days and trapping people there. NSC spokesperson John Kirby earlier this week said that he didn't have enough information to put a report together on the attack, but he said Israel is using its military operations against Hamas while undertaking more operations and targeting. Wow. Woo, things are going on and heating up, and this war, I told you, this war is going on. It's been going on for years, man. It's been going on for years. This is not the first time people act like they're surprised. I guess if you've been born in the last several years, you probably didn't know this thing has been going on for years, but it has. Speaking of Israel, Hamas says they are going to their officials have rejected a two-state solution. Israel rejected this two-state solution that the UN and, of course, Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State from the United States, has come up with this idea of having a two-state solution. Palestinians having theirs, Israel having theirs. Let's split it into two states so we get this war under control and everything. Well, we told you the other day that Israel wasn't into it. Now we're hearing that the Hamas terrorist officials are saying the same thing. They're not into it. That's right. They're not wanting to do it. So nobody's wanting to do it. And let me tell you why Hamas is saying it. The two-state solution, they refuse to recognize Israel as a state. The military massacre of Israel on October 7th has resulted in the dream of the Palestinian states that includes the state of Israel not being considered a state. A senior advisor with the Hamas says that we are the only state. And according to them, that they don't recognize, they reject Israel as a state and say that it really isn't a consideration. And amongst a lot of Palestinians, that Israel should not have their own state. That amongst all of these Palestinians, that they believe that Palestine owns everything from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea and everything in between, including the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and all of Israel. It's coming out of the Jerusalem Times there. I took that out of there. Things going on there. I've been looking at some of their newspapers over in Israel and Palestine and everything, and looking at some of the things and news stories over there and sources over there. It's getting a little bit completely different than what we've been getting here in America on both sides. So right now, Hamas, this is why you're not understanding in America that Israel's having to defend themselves. Hamas and most of the people there in Palestine believe that they own everything. Israel has nothing to do with it. Israel just wants their portion of it and keep it. But then when this two-state thing came up, Israel like, whoa, wait. we don't want a two-state thing either. So coming from news stories over there, the idea that Anthony Blinken has been trying to push with the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, and Israel, as well as Palestine, to have two states. It's not just only him denying it. And the reason he's denying it, all you're getting for most of the media is he's denying it, and Israel's just being mean, and these Palestinian people, what's going on with all the deaths. Well, then right there from news sources out of Israel, out of Jerusalem, out of Palestine, and I've been reading the same ones, even if they're backing the Palestinian people, they're saying that Palestine's saying, hey, we don't want to, we own everything. So Hamas, the terrorists, want to go. They started on October 7th, attacking a festival, kids out of the festival. They kidnapped and took hostages. So then this war began. They started hiding. Hamas started, and these are sources that I'm getting out of Palestinian newspapers, not Israel newspapers, not just Jerusalem, but newspapers right there that serve those people. That Hamas is a terrorist group, and they were hiding in these buildings, these hospitals, children's hospitals, these different places. So, the attack, like what we just told you a few minutes ago, could be something that people are going, hey, they're attacking these people. We don't know that they're not, the Hamas terrorists are not using that as a front. They are cult-like mindset over these Palestinian people going, we're the good guys. And that's what you get a lot. You got two sides of different story, and a lot of people are like, well, they might. No, they're not. Terrorists are never good guys. People that get you convinced that everybody's against you and they're here to save you, they're not the good guys. That's a cult-like behavior. I'm tired of people not understanding this, and that's why I started researching this all the way over to their networks, their television, all their papers, all their sources that are on both sides. And there's really no such thing as a left-wing or a right-wing newspaper or news media in other countries like that. It's news. Okay. I started researching it and looking at it, and I'm going, why can't we have things like this? Why, I'm sitting here trying to do it every day, tell the truth, but people want people to tell them what they want to hear. Well, that's the freedom. It's not about freedom. They got freedom of press to write it. They're writing what's going on. People that, we told you that a leader of a Hamas terrorist's son said, you don't know what's going on. Yes, Hamas is terrorist. He admitted to this. These are all sources that I got, and people are sitting here going, well, man, I still want to, what's going on? Well, this war's been going on forever. And even in these news sources, like this war's been going on for over 100 years in all this. And they said it's really just kind of stops at certain times, that they do have ceasefire, but it's just at certain times when they're done eradicating one another. And that Israel has not always been the one to come out on top on these wars. And, and everything. So people just not reading enough news sources beyond what I see on my clickbait online, because Facebook tells me the truth. My God, Facebook tells me the truth. Facebook won't even let me on my own Facebook, and because I share my show, I share a link to my show, and that's the only thing I share. I don't even share even news stories or anything else on my personal Facebook page. And they got me down for another 23 hours for that. And when I went back to look at that, they said that when I went to put in my stuff today, I was able to tag myself from the radio station page, but they said that when I was on my personal page, you've been sharing too much, and that's what we don't like. I'm like, sharing too much? You said I'd be able to at 7 o'clock start doing this. But they didn't do it. So I sent a message to them and everything, but I'm not going to argue about it. I'm just saying that believing what you read on Facebook and clickbait and everything is not news if you don't go look for all kind of other news sources. Believing what one person says because that person thinks the way I think. And I live in this uneducated world where I dropped out at 16 to believe everything. Guys, you got to stop listening to everything that tells you what you want to hear. So now you know that Hamas Not only Israel doesn't want a two-state, Palestinian state, Israel state, Hamas and the Palestinian people don't want it, but they believe that they own everything. It's all theirs, and they control it. And according to these sources, majority of the time, they do control all this. Israel's just defending themselves. And then Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu is like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want a two-state thing. There's never going to be a two-state or workout thing between these two sides because, ladies and gentlemen, both sides think they're right. Wow. Back in a moment. Sounds kind of familiar, right? Back in a moment.
Jim Harbaugh bolting Michigan for the NFL. Chargers hired Harbaugh, then signed him to a 5-year deal to become their next head coach. Michigan is expected to offer offensive coordinator Sharon Moore the now vacant head coaching job. The Packers fired defensive coordinator Joe Barry. Dolphins parted ways with D coordinator Vic Fangio as he's now the top target for the Eagles defensive coordinator vacancy. Niners receiver Deebo Samuel missed practice yesterday due to a shoulder injury. His status remains unclear for Sunday's NFC Championship game against the Lions in Santa Clara. NBA, Bucks reportedly hiring former Sixers head coach Doc Rivers to become their next head coach on the court. Giannis Antetokounmpo recorded his third triple-double in the last 4 games with a game-high 35 points, 18 boards, 10 dimes as the Bucks snapped the Cavaliers' 8-game win streak. That's sports. Ron Moss, NBC News Radio.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Noonan.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Noonan, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com, 770-755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
The Run for Angels and Chicken Queue, February 3rd. 5K, 10K fun run. Fun run 8 a.m. 5K, 10K, 8:30 a.m. Chicken Queue Place, 9:30 a.m. to noon. Drive through or drive in. Noonan First United Methodist Church, 33 Greenville Street. Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Queue, February 3rd. Be there.
What is good 99.1 WQEE with you? We got the hottest new show coming to you live, the Jet Stream. Tune in every Saturday on your 9 a.m. morning drive.
Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. What's up, sports nuts, inmates, and more? We appreciate you being with us. We're about, I'd say, about 8 or 9 minutes till the top of the hour. Current conditions are holding at about 64 degrees. Cloudy, rainy skies out there. Rain continues to flood down or rain down upon us in the next day or so, taking us all the way through Sunday with a lot of rain in the forecast. Take that umbrella wherever you may be roaming off to for the remainder of the week and going into the weekend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring you back to some headline news here this morning. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, let's jump into it. The United Auto Workers Union has decided to endorse President Joe Biden on Wednesday, joining a growing list of unions that support his re-election bid. UAW President Shawn Fain delivered an endorsement speech before Biden's keynote speech on the last day of the union's national convention in Washington. If our endorsement must be earned, Joe Biden has earned it, said Fain. The vote to endorse Biden is unanimous. According to Fain, as he told reporters, the union has more than 400,000 active members and expected to be significantly a big influence in the Michigan area, which is a swing state that Biden nearly won in 2020. Yes, thank you for all the tags and everything saying hello this morning. I appreciate you guys. Come on. There you go. All right, Fain's remarks drew a direct comparison between Biden and candidate Donald Trump's track record on unions. Biden joined the UAW picket line in September, becoming the first sitting president to visit any picket line. Attendees cited that the picket line visit as a particular strong moment in Biden's track record supporting the unions. In the same month, the former President Trump's event addressing the UAW members was held at a Drake Enterprises, which is a non-union business in Clinton Township, Michigan. Fain pointed to Trump's suggestion to the 2015 to move car production from Michigan, where the UAW has a strong presence, to lower wage states. He also cited Trump's silence during the UAW 6-week General Motor strike in 2019. When Jeep assembly plants in Illinois shut down, the former president said high union wages were to blame, while Biden celebrated the later deal that saved the plant. So no wonder they're behind him. They said also, due to that, Trump triggered boos from the audience. Instead of talking trash about our unions, Joe Biden stood with us to save Illinois and save our community, said Fain. Rarely, as a union, do you get so clearly of a choice between two candidates. In a speech, Biden also said that he was proud to have the union support and to give them his in return. He emphasizes wins for U.S. workers during his presidency, including bringing in billions of dollars in investment, supercharging, advancing manufacturing, and using union labor to build electric vehicles. Oh, yeah. There you go. So the Fain celebrated the union's November new contracts with the big three automakers, which increased raises from 25% up over the next 4.5 years. Still, he emphasizes they got to fight like hell. So, Sean Fain, who you've heard on many of our programs, including the Rick Smith Show weekdays from 5 to 6 on the network, we've talked about the union workers, and I'm behind all union workers getting something, because the more money they make, the more money they can go out here and spend with us, with businesses, local businesses, and local businesses can spend more money with broadcast radio, which is still on the internet and broadcast radio and on YouTube, which is the only source of news you're getting, because everything else is kind of dying, and we're still there. We're going to talk about it. Sports Illustrated. First, to let some people go, and some of their union people are still there. Also, now the LA Times. We'll get into all of that this morning in the final period of play, ladies and gentlemen. So don't you dare move away from that radio dial. Stay tuned. More on the ways the RyanORadio Penitentiary cruises on. Here's our latest labor history.
On this day in labor history, the year was 1946. That was the day the United Electrical Workers joined the National Post-War Strike Wave. 200,000 UE members walked off the job at General Electric, Westinghouse, and General Motors Electrical Division. Across the country, reduction of hours and phony job reclassifications led to a 30% wage cut, while years of wartime grievances piled up. All this led to the workers demanding a $2 a day pay raise. Many of these workers were young women on strike for the first time. They had spent much of the war fighting piecework and gender-based divisions of labor. Reports from the picket lines showed overwhelming support among the strikers and from the general public. Older male co-workers who built the UE joined young women strikers on the line. At the GE Mazda Lamp Works in Youngstown, Ohio, steelworkers joined women strikers to bolster the picket lines. In Lynn, Massachusetts, signs of women picketers read, "We want to live, not just exist," and "Let the pipes freeze. They don't care if we freeze," in response to maintenance crews being allowed to pass. In Bloomfield, New Jersey, 6 restaurants turned their establishments over to the strikers. GE President Charles Wilson complained bitterly of the 12,000 or so picketers that blocked the gates of the GE Schenectady plant. Strikers across the country faced violent confrontations and beatings as police on horseback waded through the crowds. Philadelphia strikers retaliated by pouring marbles onto the streets. Workers at GE and Westinghouse would eventually settle for 18 cents an hour, less than what they had hoped for, but more than either company had been willing to give. Management would remain in shock for years at the level of solidarity among the strikers and the community.
WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. The Biden campaign is gearing up for a general election rematch between President Biden and Donald Trump. Biden's campaign manager, Julie Chavez Rodriguez, told reporters that Trump's New Hampshire primary win shows he's secured the Republican nomination. She said American voters now face two very different visions for the country, accusing Trump of carrying out a campaign focused on revenge and retribution. The Biden campaign warned that democracy and personal freedoms are all at stake in the upcoming election. The Dallas mother who was at the center of a high-profile abortion case in Texas last month has been invited to attend the State of the Union address in Washington in March. RyanShelander reports.
Kate Cox received a state court order that would have allowed her doctors to end her non-viable pregnancy, but that ruling was overturned by the Texas Supreme Court. The mother of two ultimately traveled out of state for the procedure. Cox has accepted an invitation to be a guest of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden at the State of the Union address. Democrats are making abortion a key issue in the upcoming elections later this year. I'm RyanShelander.
A familiar face is set to return to The Daily Show next month. Trey Thomas fills us in.
Jon Stewart will host the Comedy Central show on Monday nights beginning February 12th. The former host will sit behind the desk through the 2024 election. The Daily Show has been using guest hosts as it continues to look for a permanent replacement for Trevor Noah. I'm Trey Thomas.
And a singer from the Woodstock era has passed away. Melanie, as she went by, became famous after appearing at the iconic music festival in 1969 and wrote the hit song Lay Down, Candles in the Rain about the experience. On Wednesday, her children posted on Facebook that Melanie Safka had died Tuesday at the age of 76. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends for the journey? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. Learn more at lagrange.edu.
LaGrange, Georgia, Sweetland on Ice, November 17th through February 11th. Adults, kids, and group rates available. It's free just to hang out here in the fire pit. Drinks, monthly movies, food truck Friday.
What's up, everybody?
Weather updates and hour changes on the Facebook at Sweetland on Ice or Instagram at Sweetland on Ice Official. To book a party or learn more about seasonal passes, contact Lizzie at sweetlandamp.com. Lizzie at sweetlandamp.com.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sales agent.
Arnold here from Coweta Forest.
Where's everybody at? I've been tagged over 200 people of you guys need to be on.
Provide recovery support services.
Y'all sleeping in this morning because it's raining? I don't blame you.
No cost. And all of our information is
I don't blame you.
www.cowetaforest.org or follow us on Facebook.
The Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. 5K, 10K fun run. Fun run 8 a.m. 5K, 10K, 8:30 a.m. Chicken Coop Place, 9:30 a.m. to noon. Drive through or drive in. Noon at First United Methodist Church, 33 Greenville Street. Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. Be there.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of the Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show. Every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons, the Braves, and more. And who knows, you might even hear you. That's the Rod
Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
And at the time, period where we're going to start to discuss what is the city of Florida.
At the time, I believe his title was social media director for the White House. It became deputy chief of staff. At this time, the conversation was question. The conversation was on December 19th of 2020 after the White House was suspended. And I emphasized to him, I thought that the claims and the ability to challenge the election results was essentially over. He said to me, and I kind of excited to him, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, the boss, meaning President Trump, and everyone understood the boss. That's what we all called him. He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work.
Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commander of the 45's Affair radio show, where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final second period of play on this True Crime Thursday. We got some true crime news for you. Get you a little other updates on other things going on, so stay with us. Period number 2 is underway. Johnson & Johnson officials agreed to a proposed $149.5 million settlement in the state of Washington. We'll tell you that and more coming up. But first, who am I? It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan Neal, and I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout It Out Loud across our RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock, Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, across, of course, the Georgia Communication and Family Radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at the heartbeat of Atlanta, Real Radio, 99.1 FM, WQEE, The Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and Real Radio. We're not in our mom's basement or our basement playing conspiracy liars. We're telling it like it is. I like those conspiracy liars. They tell me what I want to hear. I know. What grade did you graduate? I quit. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, to my haters, I got this to say to you. I love making fun of them. Don't be cruel, Ryan. Yes, I am the man around here. Don't be cruel, don't be cruel, don't be cruel. Thank you very much, don't be cruel. All right, welcome back into period number 2. We got some true crime news throughout the whole morning. We're going to talk about an 18-year-old beauty queen who's accused of a connection in the death of the 18-month-old child. We'll talk about a teacher in, I think it may be Arkansas. She decided she wanted to have a relationship with one of them there students. Maybe she's trying to get on that list so she can get out of trouble. We'll talk about a coach out in Oklahoma who gave a young girl the HIV, he's HIV positive. What a loser. And these are my loser news stories of the day from True Crime. Plus, we're going to talk about a few things, including the death of the print. I'm sorry to hurt people's feelings, but it's reality. Sports Illustrated, doing more stuff online now than ever before, has released a group of people from their group of writers, and their union writers are going to continue to stay there. Now, everyone's going to get a good going away. Here's your money. Put it in your savings account, but people don't think about that. My savings account for me to go on vacation or on a cruise. No, it's not. It's for those rainy days like today. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Also, we're going to talk about the LA Times, one of the biggest newspapers across this country, the newspaper that had the, wrote news stories, everything from the riots that happened in the 90s to Charles Manson and the deaths of so many actors that the Manson family did, to the Zodiac killer and more, are releasing people from their jobs. No, they're not getting scabs, like they call them, to come in and do the jobs. They're releasing people because of this day and time. Radio is still viable because we're on the internet and across the world here with WQEE, and we appreciate you guys being there. We're going to talk about all this in the next couple of minutes, so stay with us. I'm going to get into that. It's going to be kind of my hot topic of the day. But first, at about 11 minutes past the hour, 64 degrees under rainy skies out there. Light rain going on in the metro Atlanta areas. Heavier rains in Tennessee and rain down in North Florida right now. Looking at some of the forecasts going into Alabama, light rain as well. If you see something I don't see, if you know something else, let me know. Shoot it in the feed. Welcome in to everybody listening to us on our YouTube page as well, and continue to move us forward in that. Let's jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some headline news for you this morning. Some of the headlines that are making headlines. 6 bodies found on a dirt road in California. We told you about that story last hour. U.S. has grave concerns after report of mass casualties in Israel's raid. 5 elite universities to pay out $104 million in a settlement and price-fixing suit. And 74 killed as a Russian aircraft carrying Ukraine's POWs crash near the border. Was that an accident or did that happen? Plane crash in northern Canada, fatalities and confirmed just yesterday. Those fatalities confirmed. It happened not too long ago, but we'll talk about that. Plus, Johnson & Johnson's officials agreed to pay a proposed $149.5 million settlement. You ask why? To the state of Washington? You're going to ask why, which is a good question to ask. In a lawsuit filed by the state's Attorney General Bob Ferguson announced that the settlement agreement on Wednesday and said that Johnson & Johnson would pay them that one lump sum during their current fiscal year. The settlement terms required $123.3 million to be used for combating a fentanyl epidemic in their state, and half of the amount of local units throughout the state of Washington. This is what Ferguson said. He said, we have an urgent need for resources to address the fentanyl crisis that is impacting communities in every corner of our state. We are standing up to some of the largest corporations in the world that fuel the epidemic in pursuit of profit, and we are winning critical resources that must be used to address them and harm. What? Johnson & Johnson's with the baby shampoo, they're part of this deal? Wow. The proposed settlement terms required all funds be paid to use against the crisis in the epidemic in the state of Washington. Although the settlement deal has been reached, the state's local units of government must redo the settlement agreement by May for it to take effort. Once it's redone, Johnson & Johnson will have up to 21 days to pay a lump sum to them. The state of Washington has 125 local government units, all of which were the priority in the settlement agreements. Ferguson said he expects them likewise to be approved and for the proposal of the Johnson & Johnson settlement. I don't know why. I guess the agreement also, they came with Purdue's Pharmacy. They reached that back in 2022 with $183 million. So state of Washington is like making all these drug companies pay them. Hell yeah. Why are we not doing that the rest of the country? Because that would run them out of business. Well, let's run them out of business, folks. Because some of that medicine you got doesn't work for you. Let's run them out of business. Let's make them pay us. Run them out of business. But then somebody won't be making money. Well, you don't care if I make money. You don't care if somebody else don't make money. You care about your drug dealer making money. I don't care if your drug dealer makes money. In fact, I wish that the local drug dealers that's been selling pot for years will lose everything they got too. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray that every evil local drug dealer and moonshiner and all these people lose everything they got in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Oh man, that's wrong, Ryan. It's wrong when you're sitting out there getting drunk and doing things worse and then throwing your family out on the street. I saw a guy out on the street yesterday, and then I saw his picture on his mom on his Facebook last night. I guess she let him come in from the rain. He's a homeless guy. Sad situation. You don't understand the situation. I do. I do when you're out getting drunk yourself. I do. When nobody wants to support fantastic organizations like Coweta Forces that's got wonderful people. I support them, and they're a great sponsor here. Soon to be having their own show on the network too. But let's get back to it. A plane crash in Canada is another big news story this morning before we talk about no scabs. An airplane transporting an unspecific number of people to a diamond mine in the northern area of Canada crashed, and deaths ensued after that. The plane crashed on Tuesday near a northwestern territories of Fort Smith, a town with somewhat of 26,000 people along the border of the northern border of Alberta. The local health and social services also said that it was an active case and massive casualties around 8:50 a.m. The territory's chief coroner released a statement saying, "We can confirm that there are fatalities, but we will not provide any additional information pending the next of kin notification." We'll keep you abreast of what's going on. The FAA is going to have to look into this plane crash too. The Federal Aviation Administration will be looking into this to see what caused the plane to go down, if there was any engine trouble to that sort. So that's another investigation that's going to have to go in effect. British Australian mining company Rio Tinto said the plane was en route to their mine located about 125 miles south of the Arctic Circle when the crash occurred and a number of his employees on board. Sad situation, people going to work and dying. Well, all this is going on. We got floods, snow last week, wars, rumors of wars. I mean, it's all in the Bible, so there you go. All right, so we'll keep abreast of what's going on there. Prayers for these families of the miners that were killed in this plane crash on Tuesday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about it. The LA Times is firing people, letting people go. Let's just say fire. I'm going to say fire. Nice way of saying you're terminated, is let go, released. All that's just nice ways of saying you lost your job, okay? And why is one of the biggest newspapers across this country releasing people? No, they're not getting scabs or anything to that sort. They're releasing people because the print media is not where it used to be, okay? Most people get their news in these print media like USA Today and all these major networks like that, or major newspapers like that, are putting newspapers out online. Plus, majority of these news sources are doing what they call podcast/radio shows. That's what they are, radio shows, because people will listen. They will view. They will listen. I get up to 2,000, 3,000 downloads in a couple of hours after I go off the air of my Spreaker.com page, okay? People are listening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reality of it is. People are listening. And the reason I bring this up is Sports Illustrated last week. We reported to you this week that last week they were releasing a number of their writers. Some of the writers have already been released from their contracts. Some that are still under contract and union contracts will work for a period of time before they are released and everything. And the reality of it is you can set up artificial intelligence now to write all this stuff for these papers. And that's another reason. Artificial intelligence is taking over everything. When you call to get somebody to help you out, well, man, you're going to get a great deal, buddy. You can be an online at-home person. Those jobs are about to be shut down. And people don't want to believe that. They're still stuck in their Karen and Chad mindsets for 20 or 30 years ago. And this is not a lie. This is not a made up. This is not a conspiracy lie. This is reality. Like, well, how are we going to learn how to deal with AI then, Ryan? I don't know how we're going to learn to deal with AI. That's a question that's coming up. But a lot of these corporations, not your local businesses, we're talking about your corporations. A lot of these corporations are starting to lose people. A percentage of that is because people used to buy Sports Illustrated, LA Times, these major market newspapers and sports magazines were sent to your home. People had subscriptions every single month. You don't do that anymore. People don't do that anymore. This is why they're releasing all these hardworking journalists that are writers that went to school to do this. And somebody's going to tell this person that they're going to get money from, of course, they're going to get a little bit of money. And they're going to be smart enough to save it. They're not going to go on vacation somewhere and they're going to keep their savings account to keep their home. But people are going to tell these people they need to quit this position and go get a position online that's going to be shut down in a year from now. Like, you need to go to work and do an at-home job. Well, that job's going to be shut down in a couple of months. What is wrong with people? People are stuck in a mindset that's their mindset. They are right. And I was been telling you that this stuff was coming for the past 7 years that I've been doing this show, and people have been saying, hey, you're talking about things that make sense instead of talking about politics and lizard people and conspiracy theories and people wanting to be parakeets or whatever. Instead of talking about all the BS stuff, instead of talking about beer cans and beer and woke and cancel culture. I don't give a damn about all that. All that stuff is minute compared to people in my business that are writers for newspapers and Sports Illustrated are losing their jobs. Of course, a lot of them are going to get a lot of, they're going to get a good going away. Here's your money, get out the door type thing. They'll be able to live on it for a while. But what happens when they can't find work elsewhere in the position that they did, that they went to school for or whatever? What happens? You expect them just to give up who they are or what they do because everybody else can? Well, everybody else can't. We're living in a world that artificial intelligence is taking over right now, and they're even using it for government jobs. Okay? This news story in this morning, AI is used by the government agencies, needs guardrails. According to one senator out of Washington saying this, officials in 3 federal agencies responsible for preserving records and history said Wednesday that artificial intelligence can improve their job, but several lawmakers on the Senate Rules and Administration Committee urged caution in using this technology. Yeah, it's a lot easier. AI can do the jobs that 10 people would do, and that would take them 8 hours to do in an hour or 30 minutes. Truth, AI is the future. Truth, AI is going to be a lot easier for certain businesses where they're not spending as much money out, corporate businesses, even the federal government not spending as much money out and everything. But you guys, you don't want to believe that. We don't live in that day and time, do we? We still live in the day and time where we got flip phones, right? Of course. There's no question that AI is informative and is posed to have an evolution, and it's going to be fast, said ranking member Deb Fisher, Republican from Nebraska, in her opening statement. While AI raises the possibility of creating and being very competitive advantages across the government, it also creates risk. Carla Hayden, who leads the Library of Congress, testified that AI allows for collaborations across workplaces in both private sectors and government, and that making the agency more digital is a key focus of hers since she became a librarian in Congress 2016. She wants her job, don't care about the other people having jobs. Think about it. One person or two people have a job and everything else is AI. But the representative from Nebraska, Fisher, says that, hey, it's great. It's a future. We already know it's coming, but it's not very good to have it. It may not be very good to have it. The Library of Congress currently plan embraces the central idea that technology must be baked in all we do. This is how they say they're going to do it, and then people start losing their jobs. They started doing this with, by the way, AI started being used in Sports Illustrated a year or so ago. And now all of a sudden, there's people losing their jobs. Yep. When they start telling you AI is going to help you, come on. If AI helps nurses and doctors and people to that sort, I'm 110% behind that. Because those people need that help, and it helps us out because they take care of us. But when it comes to somebody sending out billing somewhere, they're just going to lose their job because AI can do that. What takes you 8 hours to get done for someone takes AI 30 minutes or less because it's programmed in there. But several committee members noted that the high-profile cases of false images and videos have led them to be skeptic. Senator Bill Hager, a representative from Tennessee, cited worries over the digital manipulation of voice recorders, a term known as deep faking. See, they can fake your voice too. They can take your image like they want to do in the movies. I told you, I want to take it and make the image of somebody and use it in 20 different movies. They can take your voice and use your voice. But nobody wants to support everybody locally in their areas. Nobody wants anybody to work. They want this stuff because it's fun. It's new. This is what's going to take over. Well, the deep faking poses as a misinformation about candidates, polling results, especially during the 2024 election cycle. They also referred to the introduction in 2023 and sponsored by several Republicans and Democrats coming together, prohibiting the fraudulent AI-generated content in elections. That's what you get in some of your quote online things you're watching here, your news sources are AI news sources. They see what you're looking at, and they send you out things that's going to make you happy or mad. Clickbait. I'm right once again. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Well, I think I know. I think I know. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I've been right about all this all along. They're working in the government, and there's people trying to keep it from getting in the government. Just as soon as it goes in there, you know what's going to happen? All these so-called online jobs you got out here are going to be automated pretty soon. You can't even call your local cable or phone companies without going through nothing but AI. It's all AI. If you have to get a real person, you have to physically either go to their office or you have to wait on 30 minutes to an hour to get on there. Why do you think it's taking longer? Used to it, it'd take as long. Pop up. All right, you're going to be the next one in line for us to call. Well, it will take about 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most. Now it takes a few hours for some people. Some people hang up. That takes 30 minutes for some people. It's going to be going into hours and hours because you're going to have very limited people answering these calls and stuff. The same way as very limited people are working in the government. Very limited. If I can, as a multimillionaire, produce my money and produce my content from my home, and everybody's paying me, and all I got to do is AI to use it, and I'm the one getting all the money, and I'm not paying nobody but me and a few other 5 people on the staff, which would normally take, let's say, 300. The money's going back into the corporation's hands. And why can't they spend a little bit of money for taxes? You guys are not thinking. You're thinking about like this is 1985 or 2001. You're thinking like it's the way it used to be, and it's not the way it used to be. And I don't know why people don't understand this. You got people, a lot of people in this day and time that still think that they're going to get a live person when they call these phones, and still think that those are good jobs and there's people working those, and it's not. It's AI. And then a lot of jobs that's put out there are not what you think they are. The government, I'm telling you. But you guys don't want to listen. Some of you don't want to listen. You're stuck in that 1968 mindset or 1989 mindset it's still, no. There's people still doing it. Yeah, very few. And pretty soon those people won't have it. Just like these writers at Sports Illustrated. Just like these writers and news journalists at LA Times. No, people are not, it's not cancel culture in your imaginary conspiracy theory. We're canceling everything. That's what it is. It's not that, guys. AI is canceling, not you. You drinking your beer in your trailer, in your land, on a little bit of land. You're not canceling LA Times and Sports Illustrated. Artificial intelligence is taking that out. Because just because you don't want to read it anymore, don't mean millions of other people don't want to read it no more. It's just they're reading all this stuff online. The next the generations that are actually coming up, the millennials, Generation Z, they're actually in the workforce now. They're actually the ones buying things. They're not spending money on physical newspapers, on physical magazines. I'm sorry. You got a few people like, okay, that's old school. I might get something like that. They're not buying physical comic books anymore. They don't buy their music on CDs. You download music. Okay? I mean, we got to stop thinking like it's still the good old days. And if you're local communities out there, you guys need to think about this. If you're local communities out there, you need to be supporting each other, not trying to fight one another. Well, I want more than the rest of you. You're going to die. Whatever business you're in, you're going to die if you don't work together. It's just the way it is. My kids don't want it. Well, your kids don't want it because it's not thriving like it once was. If you learn how to update and be thriving and work with other people, like all media in local areas should start working together. Newspaper, television, radio, they should be working together, not trying to fight one another for I'm the news source, you need to be doing it. Well, let me tell you something. You're going to fail doing that. You're going to fail. I told people this 7 years ago. I met a few people. I told them, said, we all need to work together. And now they're failing it, and I'm still thriving. It's weird. It's weird. Back in a moment.
Showers and thundershowers likely today, potential heavy rains by the afternoon. High near 71 with a 70% chance of showers. South winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a 60% chance of showers continues with more thunder showers overnight. Low near 61. And into your Friday, thunder showers following a period of early rain. High near 68. Winds light and variable. Chance of rainfall is 70%. And into your Friday night, another 60% chance of showers continuing into the overnight hours. Low near 60, light and variable winds. Saturday, more rain continues as 110 chance of showers all day long. High near 67. South winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon. Clearing up and going to west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour and 70% chance of showers takes you into Sunday night. That's your active weather forecast. Sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your lawn, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like pet return roach and flea control. Even if you can't see them, insects are all around you 24/7. Active Pest Control is the first line of defense. Active Pest Control, repair, farm, pest termite coverage around. Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street, New York, 770-954-9941.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newton, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com, 755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance?
Good morning, everybody. We appreciate you being with us.
Your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your needs. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sales agent. Have you been considering a career in real estate? At Keller Williams Realty and Land Partners, we prepare you to excel in your real estate career.
What is going on here? Why in the world won't? There you go. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. What's up, sports nuts, inmates, and more? We appreciate you being with us. Better have all those people on. What are you doing? And I know there's a lot of people on my Facebook friends that want to watch this show. We appreciate you joining us. All right, time for us to do a little true crime news for you. Oh, man. You thought it was true crime when I was talking about AI, wouldn't you? All right. Anyway, let's jump into some true crime news. We're going to start over here in Georgia at Donaldsonville, Georgia is where we're going to start. An 18-year-old reigning beauty queen was arrested on suspicion of murder and other charges after an 18-month-old child died. What? The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, on January 14th, and the Georgia Southwestern State University Police Department contacted the GBI. Oops, some stuff going on out there. Going straight, man. Hopefully no fires out there on that roadway. Anyway, let's get back to it. The Georgia Southwestern State University Police Department contacted the GBI for assistance investigating into a child's death. Investigators learned that the child was transported to a local hospital for medical assistance, but later died. The GBI did not disclose what type of injuries the child sustained. They did investigate and conduct an interview on January 20th, and they arrested Trinity Poger on charges of aggravated battery, felony murder, and first-degree cruelty to children. It's no immediate relationship between the two. We don't even know what happened or whatever. Wow. Beauty queen. And we talked about killer women yesterday with our friend Brenda Gasky from Horrifying History. Serial killer women. Women out there getting dangerous women. Y'all want to start jumping into things that we said your pretty little minds couldn't do back in the 1800s. Well, a teacher who told a minor she dreamed of having sex with him pleads guilty to abusing him 20 to 30 times. What a loser she is. She wants to be on that Epstein's list so she can get out of it. Oh, ooh. Nah, she's going to be like Prince Andrew. He's the only one that got in trouble. In Bryan, Arkansas, a 33-year-old moron by a teacher named recently pleaded guilty to having sex with a minor multiple times, including on a field trip out of state. Well, the U.S. District Attorney's Office in Arkansas, Jonathan Russ, announced Monday, January 22nd, that the former Bryant High School's teacher, Heather Hare, what a name, Heather Hare, pleaded guilty to transporting a minor across state in lines of the purpose of unlawful sexual activity. Hare was indicted on August 1st, 2023. She was also indicted for one count of interstate and travel for prostitution, sexual activity, and all that kind of stuff, where they're going to dismiss part of the plea because she got a plea deal. Hare, spelled H-A-R-E, who taught family consumer science classes, reportedly met with a minor victim who was a senior, and she began a one-on-one counseling session with him. She should have just waited till he graduated school and he was 18 and got married to him like, some people do. Man, it's not right, man. What you talking about, man? You don't like people doing that kind of stuff? No, man. No. Sorry. We need Chris Hansen out here and Skeeter Hansen out here taking care of all this. I'm sorry, but the attorney's office said Hare provided her personal phone number and primarily spoke with him via on Instagram and Snapchat. She told the senior this. She had dreamed of them having sex. Oh, isn't that sweet, this piece of trash? According to the attorney's office, Air gave the minor victim her home address, and they had sex around 20 or 30 times in 2021 and 2022. Prosecutors say they engaged in sexual acts at her Conway home, in her car, and even in her classroom and in the Bryant High School parking lots. Good Lord. She pleaded guilty of having sexual relations with a male victim while chaperoning an April 2022 field trip to Washington, D.C. as a part of the class that she taught. The victim was reportedly the only male on the field trip, which included 4 other students, which were females. Ross said in a statement that the former teacher took advantage of her position of trust and vulnerability of a minor, using her role to entice and lure the minor into engaging in unlawful sexual activity. Air is being sentenced at a later date and faces a multiple sentence of 10 years up to life in prison. Put her away. Shut the door. Lock the key. Shut the door. Throw her away. Throw her away. That's what I say. I'm so sick of these predators being out here. And that's why I'm so glad that we have Chris Hansen still doing his thing, while we have Skeeter Hansen, who's comedically doing it, but embarrassing this scum. And I'm glad we have people like that doing that, because I hate to tell you this. A teacher, a coach, or whatever that takes advantage of a student that is one of their students, and they get married, and even though they get married and stay together a few years later and have kids, there is something detrimentally wrong with that person leaving their spouse. Now, they didn't say she had a spouse. I'm just saying there's other examples of it. There's something detrimentally wrong when you go after a child. And people out here are going to go, well, it's all right. I don't care. I don't care what they do. Well, then you shouldn't care what anybody on the list did then. They all did the same thing too. It's just that Prince Andrew got in trouble. The rest of them have not been accused of any wrongdoing. But we don't care. If it's somebody you like, you're all right with it, right? Like, I bet her family and friends are all right with her having a sexual relationship with this senior. Well, he was probably close. Well, he was about to turn 18. There's nothing wrong. There'll be people trying to defend this predator. And she's a predator. Okay? Let's don't get this wrong, folks. She's a predator. Okay? We have more male predators than female predators out there, but she's a predator. And not the cool predator in the movie, the original Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But let's get this right. So, 15 minutes away from the top of the hour, we are, ladies and gentlemen, holding at 64 degrees under cloudy, rainy skies in the Atlanta, metro Atlanta area, and across East Alabama, Tennessee, and North Florida. You might have some snow or somewhere else. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on later on, ladies and gentlemen. But across the nation, we appreciate you tuning in. But this woman, I'm tired of people defending people like this. I'm tired of people saying, well, not everybody on that list. Look, everybody on that list, I don't care who they are, what they are, how many times they hung out with them or not. It's disgusting to me. The Jeffrey Epstein list is disgusting to me. Okay? The women that were abused, that are grown women, it's disgusting to me that these people were on that list. I don't care who they are, what they did, whatever. I don't care if they've not been accused of any wrongdoing. It's just disgusting. So, like this woman doing this, we got so many predators out there doing it. There's people probably in your neck of the woods that you don't even know that did that. Thank you, Kevin, the medium. Toss the key away. But you from Canada, you guys are all about respect and love anyway. Cher, good morning. 32 and foggy in Iowa. Thank you, Cher. I hope it gets there. But this is True Crime Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We got more true crime news stories still to come for you on this edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're going to talk about a Florida deputy allegedly fatally shooting an 81-year-old woman. She was going through a mental health issue, I guess they say. We'll talk a little bit about that. Colorado man sentenced for fatally stabbing his mother 54 times. I guess he got mad at her. Got that right, Kevin. Let's throw away the keys. Hello, no, not. When it comes to trash, we take it out. I know you guys do. That's the thing in Canada. You keep the trash out. Don't let them come to America. Don't send them to America. Send them to Russia or something the other direction. We got enough of that scum here. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't even tag Kevin and he came on. Appreciate that. Cher's up early. Out in Iowa, you're up early.
Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. Be there.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your
Getting ready for it. You need to get some sales. Get some, go sell some cars. And you go sell, oh, you're selling cars now. All right.
Consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne.
Well, maybe your car company will want to be a sponsor.
So excited we have just moved to this new company, and we are located at
That is awesome, brother.
Crossing Bypass and in the next to Art and Jake's, and we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other.
I bet you selling cars in Canada is nothing like they are in America.
Products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
The House of Light brings clarity to you.
So you're getting a tie on and a jacket, nice jacket.
Through our compassionate practitioners.
Kevin the Medium, selling cars.
Wisdom, plus the tools to support you in our
Like two different industries. I believe it. I believe it. Believe me, I believe it. I bet people trust people in Canada who are selling cars. Kevin's a nice guy. Let's go talk to him about getting a new car. In America, it's like, you better buy, sign right here. Sign right here.
Where I play all Vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE.
No lies allowed in your world. I hear you. Oh, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. We appreciate everybody tuning in there this morning. And all the way from Canada this morning is Kevin the Medium. I appreciate it. All right, guys, and we got Cher, of course, in Iowa and all of you everywhere. All of our friends on the Navajo Nation over here on the Earth Rock Radio. Good morning to Sweet Leaf, Tim, Bob, Sue, Rodney K, and John. Also, good morning to David and Michael in Canada listening this morning, and Robert in Australia. And we're going to say hello to Kiko in Japan. Konnichiwa. Diana in South Wales is tuning in. We got people worldwide here on the network. Wow. Also, we're serving East Alabama, West Georgia, including the Midwest out there. We got to say good morning to Joy. Mr. Cruz out in Idaho today. So there you go. Got a lot of Idaho listeners too. My favorite potato, by the way. All right, let's head back to Colorado right quick, where they're getting a little too high out there sometimes. A 34-year-old man will spend over 5 decades behind bars, fatally stabbing his mother to death. You know why? I'll tell you in a minute why. Inside her home back in 2021, the judge sentenced Gabriel Fondu on Thursday, January 18th, to 48 years to second-degree murder of his mother, June. He also was given 3 years for aggravated motor vehicle theft and a few other things. Well, according to reports on May 11th, 2021, around 7:40 p.m., deputies responded to the home that the two shared to a person being killed in their home. At the scene, deputies found Gabriel's mother, with multiple cuts and knife wounds to her torso and neck, as well as stab wounds to her hands and arms. The stab wounds on her neck were reportedly a little too deep. I'm not going to get too graphic, but you guys probably already know thinking. Investigators observed some wounds on the victim they believed had been inflicted after her death. Well, after stabbing his mother 54 times, he stole his father's truck and fled the scene. Law enforcement officials found him walking back towards the home and took him into custody. He reportedly argued he suffered from a psychological disorder and it wasn't his fault. He didn't know he attacked her at the time. But he was convicted of second-degree murder, strangling, and everything. Never said why he did it. Mama probably wouldn't give him no money. You know. He's 34 years old. I mean, she just wouldn't give him no money to go get him some marijuana or whatever he wanted to get. Some meth, whatever he wanted to get. Mama just wouldn't give him the money because he was hungry. He didn't want to eat her cornbread and butter beans. He wanted to go to McDonald's. I don't know what he did. They didn't tell what he did. I'm just saying. I actually don't know what the man did. Why he killed her is what I'm saying. I'm just saying those are some examples of grown men who have always got in fights with their elderly parents. It was over money for drugs and food. Because a grown man wouldn't do that unless it was drugs and food. That's my baby and he stabbed me to death. All right. In Florida, Wildwood, Florida. This is down in Wildwood, Florida, man. Let's take a look at it. Special agents with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement are investigating in an officer-involved shooting after a deputy shot and killed an elderly woman undergoing a medical episode. On Monday, January 22nd, 11:09 p.m., deputies received a call from the Rail Ends Mobile Home Park, there you go, regarding a woman in distress. The complaint later identified as 81-year-old Janet Sowers, asked for rescue personnel to come to her home. Come help me, she says. People were dying over here before she hung up. Due to the fact that officers had limited information for the woman's card, rescue personnel reportedly went to the scene, waited until deputies arrived. Once their deputies made contact with Sowers, investigators claimed and tried to determine if it was real or if it was just a medical episode, which it really was. Sowers allegedly pulled a knife from behind her back, lunged at one of the deputies, attempting to stab him. In response, the deputy did draw his firearm and shoot her. Rescue personnel performed life-saving measures on the lady. She was later transported to the local facility and died from her injuries at 12:48. She had a medical. Now, of course, they're investigating into this situation, which they all do with officer shootings and everything. She would have stabbed him. He had to protect himself. I'm not defending him, except for I am defending him because I wouldn't want to be stabbed, but also I feel bad for her because she had a medical episode and she wasn't all there. This is just the way our poor world has gone, man. We have just got to the point where people just don't know how to get people help. They sit them out in trailers and just let them live there. How do you think the young lady that played Joni on Happy Days and Joni Loves Chachi, she ended up dying in Kansas in a trailer with no money? Nobody cared. I mean, this is the reality of it is somebody didn't care. Yeah, look, we all got those parents we pissed at because they didn't do right when they were growing up. But as we get old, we got to be a little bit nicer to them and you got to be nicer to your kids and your grandkids and everything because you want them to be able to want to take care of you one day, not throw you out in the rain. Like one lady here threw her son out on the streets. And I don't know if it's the current husband or whatever, but he's thrown out on the streets. I guess I just can't share their alcohol. I don't know what it is. But anyway, and it kind of made, I saw this guy yesterday sitting out eating a can of raviolis. And then last night on my Facebook page, I saw him in a picture with his mom. And I don't know if he was still out on the street or if she let him come home for that last night. I don't know. It's sad. A lot of people don't know in bigger communities, homeless of the homeless. In smaller communities, now we're a kind of mid-sized community where I'm at, but in this community, most of the people that are homeless, they have family here. I know family get tired of it. You can get people help. Even if they don't want help, you can get people help. You know, if you think they need help, I don't know. But it's sad to see that situation go on when you see these people and you think these people don't have anybody to care for them. And then you see that somebody to care for them on their page is out partying almost every night because their kids are grown. Most people have grown kids, get over it. Time to grow up. You partying every night, come on. Claiming to be a Christian. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in going out partying. And then throwing off on other people that do it. Ooh, I'm pissing somebody off. I don't care. I just don't care. Tell me when I'm telling lies. You can't. You can't, as CM Punk would say. Tell me when I'm telling lies. All right, we're going to take a break. We got more of your favorite true crime news. Plus, I'm going to try to get a daily dumbest of the day for you. Dum, 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 dum. We'll get into that. All that's coming up in the final period. It's True Crime Thursday. No guest this week, but we'll get into more true crime news. You stay right there. We're a few minutes away from the top of the hour. 63 degrees, rainy skies out there. Back in a moment. All right, there we go. We'll take that up to the top of the hour. I wonder if I got. I wonder if I got. No, I don't have to go down and unlock the door. Woo! Woo! What's everybody doing? How you doing this morning? Wrestling fan, love it. Oh yeah. I usually do my wrestling wrap-up on Wednesdays, but I didn't get to it yesterday because I had some weird news and strange news and funny news about Dunkin' Donut, about a guy going to the restroom at Dunkin' Donut and the toilet next to him in the stall exploding on him everywhere. So we'll do wrestling tomorrow because Royal Rumble's coming up this weekend, Saturday, so I'm going to do a wrestling preview tomorrow. And I'm going to give you details on all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I think I told everybody that The Rock is part of TKO now on the board. And WWE Raw is going, January of 2025 is going to Netflix. These daggum streaming services taking over everywhere. Thanks. Everybody's trying to like it.
February 12th, the former 16-year host will sit behind the desk through the 2024 election and will be the executive producer for the program, which runs 4 nights a week. The Daily Show has been using guest hosts as it continues to look for a permanent replacement for Trevor Noah, who left in December of 2022. Taylor Swift's accused stalker is in custody for the 3rd time, just hours after making his first court appearance regarding his other arrests. Officials report that 33-year-old David Crow was at Swift's Tribeca townhouse 30 times.
Punk turns heel, and we'll see Punk versus Seth at WrestleMania. That would be good. Punk's got to win the Royal Rumble tomorrow, though.
After court, he went back to Swift's townhouse, prompting neighbors to call 911. Crow was arrested.
If Seth can make it through his operation.
From the Woodstock era has passed away. She went by the name Melanie, became famous after appearing at the iconic music festival in 1969, writing the song Lay Down.
Let's see here. Pull up my wrestling wrap up.
She also had her #1 hit in 1971 with Brand New Key and penned 1970's Look What They've Done to My Song. Melanie Safka died Tuesday at the age of 76. That's entertainment. Steve Greenfield, NBC.
No, Hard to Kill drew a solid pay-per-view vibes. Because of Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler's there.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. The Biden campaign is gearing up for a general election rematch between President Biden and Donald Trump. Biden's campaign manager, Julie Chavez Rodriguez, told reporters that Trump's New Hampshire primary win shows he's secured the Republican nomination. She said American voters now face two very different visions for the country, accusing Trump of carrying out a campaign focused on revenge and retribution. The Biden campaign warned that democracy and personal freedoms are all at stake in the upcoming election.
There we go. I didn't get a chance to finish watching AEW last night.
Has been invited to attend the State of the Union address in Washington in March. RyanShelander reports.
Kate Cox received a state court order that would have allowed her doctors to end her non-viable pregnancy, but that ruling was overturned by the Texas Supreme Court. The mother of two ultimately traveled out of state for the procedure. Cox has accepted an invitation to be a guest of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden at the State of the Union address. Democrats are making abortion a key issue in the upcoming elections later this year. I'm RyanShelander.
A familiar face.
Me either. This is getting old and needs sleep sucks. I know, right? I watched enough of it. I wanted to watch the Adam Copeland match against the New Japan wrestling star, but I was just like, But some of the guys on there I'm not big fans of. Orange Cassidy, for one.
And a singer from the Woodstock era has passed away. Melanie, as she went by.
I guess Sting is going to win the tag team belts before he retires.
1969, wrote the hit song "Lay Down, Candles in the Rain" about the experience. On Wednesday, her children posted on Facebook that Melanie C News Radio.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste.
Let me go ahead and
chicken around, fish dinners.
get ready to go on.
Through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. is Wishbone
Get
Fried
mine.
Chicken right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around.
News.
So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-59.
Been awake since 3:30. You know what they say about that, don't you, Cher? Got to dive in the Bible and see what you got to. Got to get up and pray for everybody. I know the feeling. I get up early to come to work, and I wake up about 30 minutes prior to when I want to get out of the bed, and I'm like, no, I can't go back to sleep because I'll sleep past my alarm. Oh my goodness. And then Saturdays I try to sleep in and still don't.
Website at www.calitaforce.com.
Here we go.
Follow us on Facebook.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of The Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern. You'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons.
I'm going to have a nap later. I hear you.
Who knows? You might even hear you. That's the
Good
Rod
idea.
Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
All right, we're going to do it once more. And this time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you. When the band begins to play the
On a Thursday night?
Now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight. So say good morning. Good morning. Somebody's supposed to say good morning.
Cher got a hot date tonight. Oh, yeah. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. We are still going there. Hey, guys, coming up is the final period of play. True Crime Thursday continues. We'll have our daily doodles of the day and get you ready to get out of here on this Thursday edition as we head back. It's Winter Games here. Ooh, says Cher. Winter Games there. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. You're in Lockdown. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm the host of the most, the one, the only, Ryan O'Neal, of course, and yes, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, Shout It Out Loud, across the RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, Jordan Communication, the family radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at the heartbeat of Atlanta, WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and, of course, real radio. We're not in our mom's basement doing it. We're on the radio. We have live radio all day with real radio shows and real radio programming. We're not sitting around spreading the gossip of the conspiracy lies. We're giving the real news to you. And to my haters, well, you know, I got one thing to say to you. Tell them what's up, Triple H. Listen up here. That's right. Whether they like it or not, I am the man around here. Thank you, five stars entertainment for liking everything. We'll appreciate you guys. It's Winter Games there in Iowa, says Cher. What it is, you're going to get in a car and you're going to try to get from home to the store. Is that the winter game? I don't know. With all the snow there. Oh yeah, it melted. That's right. It got up near 30. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue our true crime look here in just a few moments, and some of the true crime, gritty, evil true crime stories, and maybe one that makes you go, oh, that's an idiot. Yeah. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I think I did. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into what I like to call some of the headlines this hour. And this, instead of news headlines this hour, we always do our sports headlines in the final hour as well. Here's some of the sports headlines that are making some of the top headlines today. Michael Phelps and his wife, Nicole, are celebrating the birth of their fourth child. Chicago Cubs legend Ryne Sandberg is considered one of the greatest players in Chicago Cubs history. He's now been declared he now declares prostate cancer. He's receiving treatment as we speak. Wow. Georgia Bulldogs Uga mascot has passed away at age 10. He was an English bulldog, also known as Q-U-E, not the other Q that makes up the conspiracy theories. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cavaliers Tristan Thompson was suspended for 25 games for violating what they call the drug policy and the drug program. He had to get him a little something, and now he's out 25 games because he failed it. That's what happens when you deal with a Kardashian, right? It messes you up. Just ask Kanye West. Brian Johnson has been fired as the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I got to get this right. I wrote it wrong. Brian Johnson has been fired as the official offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles due to the Eagles' up and down season and their struggles to exit in the playoff game. So he's gone. He's done for. He's out of here. That's right. Go, go, go. See you wouldn't want to be you. All because of what, a little bit of a down season. You didn't make it to the championship this year, so there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in a rundown of AEW last night, had the Trios champions Acclaim and Daddy Ass defeat the Mogul Embassy with the help of their partners in the Bang Bang Club, the Bullet Club, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is what they're calling themselves together. Sting and Darby Allin. Darby Allin says, I want to go for the tag team belts. I want you to be the tag team champions with me before we retire in March. They challenged Ricky Starks and Big Bill, and Ricky Starks and Big Bill said, we appreciate you guys, acknowledging us as the champions and everything, and we'll take your challenge. Jeff Hardy lost to Swerve Strickland. I think the Hardys about to turn heel because they're getting tired of this. I don't know what. Hangman Adam Page beat Peta, and then Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland backstage came face to face, and they're going to get to choose each other's partners next week's show, or not partners, each other's competitors on next week's show. Yeah, Tony Storm and Deanna Perez came face to face, two old friends, challenging for the title. Deanna's being challenged by Ty Valerie, Johnny's TV, Johnny Impact, John Morrison's wife. Wardlow destroyed Trent. Trent kind of pushed off on Orange Cassidy. I thought, go for it. Get rid of the loser. Orange Cassidy sucks. He shouldn't even be champion. Thunder Rosa defeated Red Velvet. So that's the way it goes. That's how it went last night. So there you go. We'll get a preview tomorrow's Royal Rumble in the final period of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Plus, we'll have the latest SEC men's basketball report for you on the show tomorrow morning as we get ready to conclude that on the final period. So we already got that. Headline news and other things going on Friday. We're going to get into all of that, taking us into the weekend. So that's it. That's all tomorrow. We're going to talk about Royal Rumble. We're going to get prepared for the Royal Rumble this weekend. Who's going to win? I say CM Punk. Tell me if I'm telling lies, but you might be able to tell me if I'm telling lies in that. You never know who's going to win. So I'm feeling it CM Punk, but it could be anybody. Could be anybody. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow morning on the show. All right, let's get right back to it. I like to get right back to it, and that is the true crime. Since it's True Crime Thursday, everybody. 15 minutes past the hour. Currently, we're holding at 63 degrees, cloudy, rainy skies in the Atlanta, metro Atlanta area. And according to our friend Cher, it is 32 and foggy in her neck of the woods in Iowa. So there you go. All right, here we go with some more true crime. All right, let's see what we're going to do this one. I'm going to talk about the Green River Killer, guys. You remember this? We talked about it with the Three Spook Girls on the show one time, and I'm going to dive deeper into that because they finally got the last two victims' names of the Green River Killer. So all the victims that he killed have been named, and their families have been notified, even though most of them's families have passed away as well. But their names are being said. So we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Green River Killer. That happened in Washington, Seattle, on the outskirts of Seattle. Guy was he was a good dad and great to whatever wife he was with, but he just hated, the women of the night. Let's go to Michigan, ladies and gentlemen. A mother will spend the rest of her life behind prison. What an idiot. Because for abusing and starving her 15-year-old son to death in what a judge has called systematic torture. Shanna Ark received life sentence for murder and 50 to 100 years for first-degree child abuse of her son, Timothy Ferguson. She is convicted of those charges back in December of last year. Ark was arrested in July of 2022 when officers were called to her home for a death investigation. They found Ferguson deceased and said he appeared to be extremely malnutritioned, and there was some evidence of abuse. But Shauna, she didn't want to admit to that. No, you should have did what he told. Do what I tell you to do. Some of these evil people out here in this world. Ferguson weighed 69 pounds when he died. According to the judge, compared the teen to a Holocaust victim because he was so sickly. The medical examiner determined that Ferguson died from, well, being malnutrition. Well, her 21-year-old son, Shauna's 21-year-old son, Paul, has also been charged with child abuse. And prosecutor argued Paul had some, parts in his brother's death. Well, according to him, he told her, you're initially, according to the judge, this is what he told Shauna. He said, I've been trying now for the entire case to wrap my mind around how somebody could do something so horrifying, not only to another human being, but their own child. Your systematic torture of this child, let's call it what it is. It's torture. You tortured this child. And she had no grief for it. And she didn't care. And whatever. Sorry people. Sorry people. We got sorry people in this world. Some sorry people in this world that we can't do anything with. And when the judge does their job, then other people want to feel sorry for these people. Come on, guys. I don't feel sorry for them. I will never feel sorry for people who do things like this. Not whatsoever. Or pedophiles and everything. I'll never feel sorry for them. They're going to talk about the Green River Killer coming up. Can't wait for that one. Oh, yeah. Well, police have arrested and we talked earlier about a scumbag that had a relationship with a senior and boy, and she was a teacher in Arkansas. Of course, I know someone who was in a teaching position and ended up marrying the girl after she graduated. I don't think he kept his position. I think he retired from that position and moved on somewhere else. But police arrested a youth baseball coach in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, for having, after a young girl, his mother walked in on him allegedly sexually assaulting the young girl, the underage girl. Donovan Shepard, 39, has been charged with 2 counts of lewd behavior. On January 13th, a woman who was living with Shepard, I guess she went to pick him up at a bar because he had got into a fist fight with some people and got kicked out and everything. So he later on, after he returned to the home, the woman discovered he was sexually assaulting a girl who was sleeping in a different room. She called the police on Shepard, of course, after she held a gun on him. She should have just shot him. But she did the right thing, let the police take him into custody. He told her, I tested positive for HIV. I guess he's no longer going to be coaching at all whatsoever. He, just like the earlier woman, were trying to see if they can get on that Epstein's list to get out of trouble. Like so many people on the Epstein's list, not accused of any wrongdoing. Don't care. I support them. They're actors, they're politicians, they're good people, they're people with money. They amounted to things. Yeah, the guy that owns the nightgowns and the bathing suits, Victoria's Secret guy, was providing all this for these people. These people up in their 70s, with their wives being in their 50s and stuff. 60s. Tells you something, huh? Tells you something. Found them on that island, I think. But this guy's trying to figure a way out how to get on there so he can get out of trouble. Not really. I'm just kind of depressed that nobody's doing anything to any of those people on that list, and so many people are defending the people they like on that list. You're not going to catch me defending any of them on that list, except for the victims, the female victims and their lawyers and stuff like that, because they're on the list for being people that's bringing it up against these people. But you're not the other people that's accused of going out. I'm sorry, I'm not going to defend them. Sorry. Don't care if you like somebody on there or not. Not going to defend them. Not going to have some imaginary conspiracy lie that they were good people. Anyway, let's move on to another not so good person. No, we're not talking about the Green River Killer yet. 20 minutes past the hour. Over here, we're holding at 63 degrees under cloudy, rainy skies. More True Crime Thursday. No guest today, but hey, 770-347-9947 if you know of a story. Now, Cher, I got to get some of those stories from Iowa we were talking about yesterday. All right, let's jump into it. New York man convicted of killing a 20-year-old who mistakenly pulled into his driveway. What are you doing out here, girl? Why are you coming into my driveway? Man, don't come to my driveway. I'm out here making moonshine, doing illegal things. We don't want. That's what those trespassing signs stand for. It's not because you want your privacy. Most of these people are doing illegal things. They don't want the government to know. I got a right to shoot them if they come on my land trying to keep me from making moonshine or meth or selling drugs. I don't know what this guy was doing, but a jury convicted a 66-year-old man for the murder of a fatally shooting a 20-year-old girl who mistakenly pulled in his driveway by accident. Kevin Monahan was found guilty of second-degree murder, first-degree reckless endangerment, and tampering with evidence on Tuesday, January 23rd, in connection to the shooting death of Kylie Gills. The jury reported they deliberated only for 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. On the evening of April 15th, 2023, Washington County Sheriff's Office in Washington County, New York, responded to shots fired called on the Cemetery Road near Selma and found Gillis suffering from a gunshot wound. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Deputies received another phone call and learned that there was a shooting taking place. And Washington County Sheriff Jeffrey Murphy, there isn't much service out in that area, says, so Gillis and her friends were the one looking for a house and mistakenly drove up the wrong driveway. Murphy said Monahan was not cooperating with authorities when they arrived at his home. I got a dose test outside. I can shoot whoever I want to shoot. I don't have to. I don't have to. That whole privileged attitude that we don't want to accept as a society because it might interfere with some of our beliefs and some of the people that might vote the way we vote or might hang out with us or some family member or something. This is privilege. He didn't think he had to talk to the police whatsoever after he killed a woman. Okay, they made a mistake and went in the wrong driveway. He could have just let them go, but no, he wanted to shoot them because they were in his driveway, and he wouldn't cooperate with the sheriff. He would not cooperate with him. That's called privilege, ladies and gentlemen. That's not called anything but privilege. You got people who think they can do whatever they want. They can kill whoever they want, threaten whoever they want, threaten whoever they want, threaten the president or whatever just because they don't like them. They think they can do whatever they want. And then they get mad because they think you're trying to take their freedoms from them. They're the only ones that think they can have freedoms and the rest of the people can't. What about this 20-year-old girl? What about her life and her freedom? Well, he's going to jail for what he did because he wasn't cooperative. Gillis's boyfriend, Blake Wallace, was driving and there were two other people in the car. She was reportedly in the front seat and was struck in the neck with a bullet from a 20-gauge pump action shotgun. Old Monahan's trial lasted 3 weeks. The Albany Times Union reports that the jury was given the option to convict him of manslaughter, and his defense filed a motion to the jury to deliberate on criminal neglect homicide, but the judge denied the request. Monahan testified in his trial and reported said the first shot was a warning. The second shot went off because he tripped on nails and hit the gun against the porch, and which caused it to fire. So the second one was an accident. Sure. He said, didn't want to shoot anyone. I was just shooting up in the sky to tell them some guns to get off my property. He's got 25 years to life in prison. He will be sentenced in March. He tried to say that, his attorney said, he didn't do it on purpose. He didn't mean to shoot that little girl on purpose. I mean, he shot as Warner shot, and then he hit his gun on He tripped on a nail. I mean, how did he trip on a nail? I don't know what he did. He tripped on something. Was he drunk on his porch or something? I don't know. What was he doing? How did he fall? You can't trust anybody, says Cher. How did he do this? I want to know how he did it. I just want to know. He tripped on a nail. Now, you think, who's going to defend this guy? Now, his attorney's supposed to. I'm nothing against that. But who's going to defend somebody shooting somebody just because they're on their land? What was he doing wrong? He could have just said, when he saw the car come up, he could have went out to the vehicle with his gun and asked, what are you doing here? There's people who do that, and all over Georgia and Alabama and everywhere, when people pull up in their yard, they're standing there with their gun. If they go get your gun, come out and say, what you doing here? Well, we're looking for so-and-so. Oh, okay, well, it's right down the road there. People don't, people used to be able to not pull their guns out on people until they found out what was going on if they were there to kill them or damage them. People didn't just pull their gun out just to shoot. So there was more to this story. And, of course, this guy's going to get 25 years to life in prison for murdering this girl and saying it was an accident. Well, he shot into a car that he didn't even know who was in there. There could have been children in there. There was a child in there. She was 20 years old. But I'm just saying it could have been family in there. It could have been anything. And he's supposed to be like, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. I shot the first time was warning him to let him know, get off my land. How can you get off your land? I just want to know. This guy, the 66-year-old man, his mindset was he could do what he wanted to do. He did not want to cooperate with the police department when they come talk to him about it. He didn't want to cooperate with the sheriff's department when they come talk to him about it. He felt like all his rights were his rights. But what about the right of this young lady? What about the right of this young lady and her friends? Just because they made a mistake and pulled into the wrong driveway. If somebody pulls in your driveway, don't go and shoot them, folks. Give them a chance to leave if they find they're in the wrong place. Don't go, they're in the wrong place. Well, the reason most people shoot before they ask questions is because they're doing something illegal themselves. He could have just stayed in the house and observed to see what they did. That's what I say. But obviously he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, because he wouldn't have went right out with his gun and start shooting. There's more to the story. He's very lucky that they didn't catch him doing whatever the heck he was doing. That he only got in trouble for this. But it's not the first story and the last story you're going to hear of somebody shooting before they ask questions, because people just think, that's my rights. That's my rights. No, your rights is to protect you if somebody comes in your home. Your rights is to protect yourself. Your rights are not to just shoot somebody because you don't like them or because the wrong person pulled up in your driveway. Am I supposed to get mad every time somebody comes into my driveway or hit in my yard? What are you doing? It's parking in my front yard. Oh my God, I'm going to come kill you. Is that what I'm supposed to do? People who think like this, they don't have critical thinking, and they need to be taught better. Back in a moment, we got more true crime. We're going to talk about the Green River Killer.
Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like bedbug, termite and flea control. Even if you can't see them, insects are all around you 24/7. Active Pest Control wants to be the first line of defense. Active Pest Control. Repair, bond, best termite coverage around. Active Pest Control. 34 Jefferson Street, Neal. 770-954-9941.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killexworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sale agent.
The Run for Angels at Chicken Coop, February 3rd. 5K, 10K Fun Run. Fun Run 8 a.m. 5K, 10K, 8:30 a.m. Chicken Coop Lanes, 9:30 a.m. to noon. Drive through or drive in. Noon at First United Methodist Church, 33 Greenville Street. Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels at Chicken Coop, February 3rd. Be there.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Yo, what up, Georgia? This is Parlay. Saturday morning crew. Come by with us on the jet stream with non-stop service for weekend shenanigans with my co-host, DJ Commando. Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commando of the 45's Affair radio show, where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. What's up, sports nuts, inmates, and more? I'm Ryan O'Neal, and we're about 32 minutes past the hour. We're about 63 degrees, and that is your time and temperature, brought to you by Active Pest Control. We're going to dive into some more true crime here, and this time we're going to do a little bit expanded. We've still got our daily dumbest coming up today. That's coming up towards the end of the hour, but right now I want to talk about a serious true crime killer, the Green River Killer. I've seen the Green River Killer movie, films, documentary on this guy and everything. And it's just I don't know, this guy was out of it. Gary Leon Ridgway, known as the Green River Killer, was initially convicted of 48 separate murders committed between the early 1980s and late 1990s. As part of plea bargain, another conviction was added, bringing a total number to 49, making the second most serial killer, one of those top serial killers in the United States. Let's get that right, Ryan. Most of Ridgway's victims were allegedly sex workers and other women in vulnerable circumstances, including underage runaways. Before his identity was known, the media gave him the nickname after the first 5 victims were found at the Green River. He strangled the victims, usually by hand, but sometimes by using other things. After strangling them, he would dump their bodies in the forest and overgrown areas of King County and return to the bodies periodically to, have sexual intercourse with. Ridgway had been suspected in the murders in 1982 when he was arrested for prostitution. However, investigators were unable to link him at the time. Later, advances in DNA provided a link that brought him to the murders. And recently, a couple of those the last couple of people's young ladies' names have been identified. He was spared the death penalty and received sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. What a loser. What a loser. What a loser. This is what I'm saying. He's a loser. Okay. And speaking of this loser, investigators have identified the last known remains linked to this loser, the Green River Killer. Concluded a decade-long effort to identify each and every one of the 49 women and girls that had been killed by this evil satanic man. The remains were named Bones 20 when they were found in 2003 because investigators were unable to confirm their identity. DNA testing recently has helped investigators confirm that they belong to Tammy Lyons, who was 16 when she disappeared from Seattle in 1983. Wow. I guess they based that one movie I was watching on this the young lady I saw there. And also was identified as a victim in 1988 after a separate series of remains were traced according to the King County Sheriff's Office on Monday. Now, all 49 victims have been identified and found. Gary Ridgway, known as the Green River Killer, terrorized King County in the 1980s and 90s, and some of the victims' bodies were dumped in the river south of Seattle that leads to the case in its name. Wow. Ridgway had been a suspect, we told you, but he passed the polygraph. He denied any acknowledgement of it. He was arrested in 2001 for the homicides after a new DNA technology allowed authorities to put the evidence in him together. In 2003, he was sentenced to life in prison for all 49. The 74-year-old is being held without parole in Washington State Penitentiary, known as Walla Walla. So, looks like they found the last name of the victim, thank goodness. It's hated. These were children. These were sex workers underage. This is good. That's good for the families to have closure. Yes, it is. It is. But this 74-year-old man, I hope somebody finds something to do with him in there. The search for the victims' families have already been identified for the victims. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Wow. We talked about this before and his victims, and finally the close of this case. I agree with you. It is good for the families to have a closure. It's terrible. And this man was some kind of welder or something when they found him. He still, when he talked about it, he still acted like it was no big deal. Like, well, they were sex workers. They were useless people. In his mind, he never went after anyone that was, he didn't go after regular women. And now there was one situation, supposedly he had one woman he was dating that was in a terrible situation. I think she was one of the victims as well. But, it was just, he would take them back to his home, pay them, they do the deed, and he'd kill them right there and put them in his vehicle and his truck and take them out to the river, dump their bodies everywhere. And that's what he did. Whew. I know some people are like, we can't defend him. I mean, we got to defend him. Everybody has rights. Not child molesters and killers. Sorry, they don't. Not murderers like that. I'm doing the Noonan dance. I don't have any Noonan people on. Guys, my Facebook is still, my personal Facebook is down still. It's like another, I was supposed to go at 7 o'clock this morning, but then it says, oh, you got 23. And it says that because of the stuff I share. Because I share too much. I'm like, share too much? I don't share too much at all. Once a day, I share what my show is every morning. So that's not sharing too much. I believe somebody out there is jealous of me in their little fringe mindsets or whatever, in their little make-believe worlds, in their little lizard people worlds. They're jealous that people are listening to a radio show, news show on real radio, because we're real radio. We're not in our mom's basement. We're not playing. We're not lying, and we're not I'm telling me when I'm telling lies, and we're not lying or anything to that sort. We're giving you the news because we're under FCC law to actually have to do what's right, not do what people want. Why can't you do what people want, Ryan? Like I want to shoot somebody just for coming in my yard. It's all right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Steve. So I'm sounding great this morning. Appreciate that. All right, we got a few more minutes left. I'm going to have our daily dumbest of the day still to come. 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. It is Active Pest Control Time and Temperature, brought to you by Active Pest Control. And it's 63 degrees under rainy skies in the metro Atlanta areas. Cool everywhere else. Thank you for tuning in here. We're going to take a break. Come back. I'll have our daily dumbest of the day. We'll get our basically dumb crook dumbest of the day. Someone who you're like, really, they did that? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm afraid so. All right, back in a moment.
Performing Arts invites you to travel to the magic world of ancient China. Experience a lost culture brought to life with incredible
All right, let's see.
Coming to River Center for the Performing Arts, January 23rd only. Tickets at Shenyun.com/Columbus-GA. That's SHENYUN.com/Columbus-GA.
The Baxters have a new first book from #1 New York Times
Man.
bestselling novelist Karen Kingsbury, author of life-changing fiction, comes The Baxters, a prequel. The heart-pounding story of Carrie Baxter's wedding, amidst family tension and the worst storm Bloomington, Indiana has seen in a decade. The Baxters, by America's favorite inspirational storyteller, Karen Kingsbury. Visit KarenKingsbury.com for more information. The Baxters, available now wherever books are sold.
Hi, Lisa Wolf to tell you that the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show and the 30-minute Radio Rarities podcast can be emailed to you every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month, plus the games, celebrity interviews,
All right, I got it.
trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
Oh, these are dumb ones.
Plus, the return of James Ellsworth. Get your tickets right now at MemphisWrestling.tv.
Check out Teddy Long joining the MemphisWrestling.tv on TV 18 in Auburn and Roku today. This weekend, we welcome you back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Got a lot in store for you. Hope you, and everybody tuning in, enjoying yourself this morning. Thank you to everybody tuning in. We're going to get right back to it It's time for our daily dumbest of the day. We're about 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. So I'll tell you what, let's do our daily dumbest. We might have a couple. I'm going to do a couple of them today. Dumb. Crook news. We're going to go to Florida, which is the perfect one to start off with. Florida man, listen up. A Florida man wanted by the cops tried to throw them off his trail by placing a sign. A big old sign outside the house reading, Johnny Yates does not live here. Johnny Yates don't live here. I tell you what, man. These cops are going to try to come get me because I'm wanted on some kind of charges. I tell you what, man, I got this great idea. Put a big old sign up there and tell them I don't live here, and then they go about their business. Yates, 41, was wanted by a Polk County Sheriff's Office on aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and tampering with charges. He eventually was locked up. Hey, why is this freezing up? Don't freeze up, computer. Don't freeze up. Oh, I can't tell you the rest of the story because the damn computer wants to act up. Wow, internet for losers that work there. Out in Arizona, there are only 3. Good thing they're all going automated. Wow, internet messing Ryan up once a day on the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Don't buy the internet. Get Spectrum. Spectrum actually knows what they're doing. Wish our company would go back to Spectrum. Deputies showed up at Yates' Lake Land home around 2:45 p.m. on Saturday after getting a tip he was held up there. But there was a sign on the door that says, Johnny Yates don't live here. They knocked on the door and they said, Johnny, this is the Polk County Sheriff's Office. And Johnny says, Johnny don't stay here anymore. Johnny's not here anymore. And with that being said and done, I got nothing else planned for the rest of the hour because everything I was going to do was on this computer. Oh, now it wants to start working. When deputies arrived, they noticed the sign was written on there, Johnny does not live here. A dry eraser board never lies to anyone, right? Enough was enough, and they went inside and got him. Deputies called out some more, but still no response from Johnny. On the second helping of surrender smoke, whatever it's called, they put it inside the home. They waited a little bit, yet still no response from Johnny. Finally, deputies and K-9 Dexter units entered the house and located Johnny, who was hiding in a modified chest of drawers. He was hiding. You come here, you can't find us. Johnny X does not live here anymore. You can go on about your business. Leave the son of a gun alone. Florida man. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah, that tells you that, what's wrong with some of them. Oh my goodness. Well, Florida don't have the only ones that has those kind of dumb crooks. Let's go to Colorado, where they're smoking a lot of Ouija board, man. Shit, dude. Let's get high, man. A Colorado crook carried thousands of dollars of stolen merchandise, walked right into the police hands after he was caught trying to use a Uber as a getaway car. My Uber driver will be here in 10 minutes. Let me order an Uber once I steal all of this. The bungling idiot was ransacking a plumbing store in the Denver suburb last week when he called a rideshare driver to pick him up. The store owner had called 911 after noticing a hole cut in the business fence and caught surveillance video of the thief inside. Well, when the local Weed Ridge police arrived on the scene, they discovered the Uber driver waiting nearby. He told cops that the passenger, Jose, was headed right towards the car. Are you looking for an Uber? An officer could be heard asking the suspect. The man, wearing a hood of his black sweatshirt up and pulled down, shoots his glance sideways and hides his hands in his pocket. No, he stammers. He then gives the officer a fake name, Raul, as he takes a step back away from the cops. He was immediately grabbed by officers, and Jose doubles down on his innocence and claims he was simply on his way to his mother's house. I'm on my way to see my mom's. What's wrong with you? When told he matches the description of the thief, he maintains he's not a man that they're looking for, despite identifying himself as Raul. The contents of the backpack was exposed, and guess what? They found some things in it that he shouldn't have. Why is it? I hope it ain't feedback. The backpack was full of Milwaukee tools, ladies and gentlemen, Milwaukee tools. That's right. Inside, cops found more than $86,000 of electric tools. He just told them they were his. They call it rideshare. Man, what you got, man? Get that rideshare, man. The Uber driver also asked, am I going to get paid for this? I'm just kidding. And Raul, aka Jose, said, hey man, I don't need your ride anymore. I got a free ride. The officer would be like, hey, you can go on with your Uber. You won't get paid tonight. I'm sorry, sir, but Jose's got a free ride tonight. Oh my goodness. Dumb crooks. Can they get any dumber? Well, that's a good question. Yes, they can. They can get even dumber. Even more dumber. Better not be. Oh my. They can get, sorry about that little feedback somewhere. Oh, I was hearing something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, they can get dumber. Yeah, you guys want to know. What about the underwear stealing bandit? It's the underwear stealing bandit in Idaho. The underwear stealing bandit. Give him his own theme song. An armed and dangerous thief has been breaking into homes of women he was stalking. He even took the time to rearrange one of the victim's furniture, according to Idaho police. Jacob Smart, who's not very smart himself, the 38-year-old, was named Thursday as the man that had been hunting over the last several months for carrying out a string. They've been hunting for carrying out a string of break-ins in Idaho. The looter was caught multiple times on several video cameras. I don't know why stupid people want to go and break into people's houses today when they got video of it. I mean, oh, I'm on candy camera. Oh, I doing. I'm on candy camera. They not gonna catch me if I put a hood over my head. They won't even know it's me. They won't even know it's Jacob. My name's Smart. You know, I'm smart. Anyway, he also forced his way inside on several occasions by kicking in the door, according to some videos. Smart allegedly nabbed their underwear, debit cards, credit cards, and weapons and more. Oh, everyone. In one such incident, the suspect moved personal items around in the home. In another one, the suspect entered the home while the victims were asleep, stole house keys, and was then seen on surveillance video later attempting to re-enter the house, but the victim had already changed the lock. Dang, I thought they were stupid enough to leave locks the same. Smart is accused of carrying out about 5 break-ins in the area between August and October of 2023 and may have continued to have his heist beyond the states. Multiple stolen items, including several from those in that area, were recovered when he was picked up in Oregon. But Smart fled cops while he was attempting to be arrested. Smart is not very smart. He's still on the lam, and people are looking for him. Hey, Smart, where you at, boy? You know Oregon? I can't even break into women's houses anymore and smell the underwear and take it. I just want to be a home designer. That's why I rearranged the furniture and everything. I was just getting stuff that these women didn't need. Some of these ladies were single, and I was taking their thongs because you know what? I didn't want some man that they dated thinking they were kind of trashy. Yeah, Jacob Smart was just trying to help these ladies out. He was trying to rearrange their homes, take their sexy underwear away from them so that the man they went out on a date with wouldn't think dirty thoughts about these women. Hey, good morning, Gino Giz. Good morning. Good morning. Don't be not coming on. Stay on. Why'd you retract your message? Good morning. You can't take back your good morning. All right, we're getting ready to get out of here in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Sustainable Brown Girl at the top of the hour. And then we got Connecting Hearts Radio Network with Margie Conway. And then we head into the afternoon drive, 12 to 5, the best sports lineup in the business. 12 to 2, Rod Peterson Show. 2 to 3, the Sports Beat with Richard Holder. And 3 to 5, it is live. It is right. It is Braves Country HD. Rick Smith takes over from 5 to 7, Union News and more. And then we got the Best in Talk program all night long. Take me back up to tomorrow morning when I'm in here with your headline news. 6 a.m. CBS Radio News on the hour, every hour, full hour news. And then I'm back for the Friday edition. We're going to talk about Royal Rumble tomorrow. We're going to get some more odd news. We're going to mix the week up. We'll have a few things to talk about going into tomorrow's show. Action Wrestling, this coming up Friday at Arnell Middle School. That's here in Newnan. 6 p.m. is doors are open. 7 p.m. bell time. Come out and see the action, all the exciting action of Action Wrestling. This coming up Friday night. All right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get out of here. Should we get out of here? Yeah, we get out of here. Hopefully they find Jacob Smart because he is not that smart. I'm going to go in somebody's house. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. You guys have a great day. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. You're tuned in to RyanORadio Penitentiary, the show that's got you in lockdown. And we're about to leave. You're like just now coming on, some of you? That's all right. Go back and rewatch the whole show. We got the best in true crime today, headline news, and more. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we appreciate you being part of RyanORadio Penitentiary. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Take care of one another. Treat one another with the utmost respect. And remember, if you can't do it, right, don't do it at all. And also, tell me when I'm telling lies. You have a great day too. People in and out all morning long on the YouTube page. We appreciate that. Thank you very much to everybody. All right, we're going to close this app out, and thank you. Hopefully, I will be back on my page, and I can share from my page too. Hopefully tomorrow. Have a great day.